the biggest allow.
I'm here.
Madam Presiding Officer, there are 13 honorable members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan present inside the session hall, including the Honorable Cardinal Rosco Romay, the temporary presiding officer.
Thank you, as the secretary. With 30 members present inside the session hall, the chair declares the presence of the quorum to proceed. May I recognize the floor leader, Member Rachel, to please guide the proceedings.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. We proceed now to the next item in our agenda for this 18th regular session of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, dated May 11, 2026. Item number 6, reading and consideration of the minutes of the 17th regular session, dated May 4, 2026. Madam Chair, I would like to ask our provincial secretary or deputy secretary whether they were able to get or the proper recording of the minutes during the last session, because I believe that the signal was a problem at that time.
Mr. Secretary, you are requested to answer the query of the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the 7th regular session minutes, Madam Chair, despite the recording conducted in the session hall, and the other one, the recording in the Panlalawigan session hall, we also have stenographers. We brought 2 stenographers to Panlalawigan, and we assigned 2 stenographers also to attend the session here inside the session hall. So all manifestations of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan members were captured, Madam Chair, and were recorded.
Thank you, as the secretary. Floor leader.
So in that case, Madam Presiding Chair, I'd like to ask the members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan if they have any queries with regards to the previous session. If not, Madam Chair, then I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the 17th regular session dated May 4, 2026.
Member Rachel is moving to dispense the reading of the minutes during the last regular session. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Corvera and Aluhipan. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
At this juncture, Madam Presiding Chair, I move that the minutes of the 17th regular session dated May 4, 2026 be approved by this Office panel.
Member Rachel is moving. Is there a second to? Member Rio is recognized for this manifestation.
Madam Chair, my manifestation is relative to the integrity of the decisions made last time, particularly on the issue of an urgent matter pertaining to equipment donated to the UA. Although it has been decided during the session last time, Madam Chair, and it was voted upon, but there is still a hanging question as to the integrity of the entire process, because there is a question in this presentation whether the ruling of the chair last time was already final or not. Be that as it may, it is already recorded. When once we approve this minutes today, it will be recorded as approved. Correct? But that's why I have a reservation as to the approval of the minutes. But if the body so decides, then the minutes of last week shall be deemed approved with a majority vote today. But still, the question of my manifestation is a hanging matter that will be discussed to this day. That is my manifestation. Thank you.
Thank you. Your manifestation is due recorded, Member Rio, but I was informed by the secretary that the item, the question is again included under urgent measures number 1. So with that, floor leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you very much, SP Balyo. We now move on to the next item, item number 7, privilege speech. We have none, Madam Chair, unless you want the part 2 of the privilege speech. Letter 8, information. In our agenda, it says none, but there are important items to be submitted for information of this August party. So at this juncture, as your floor leader, I move that the rules be suspended to accommodate these requests from certain board members for information.
Okay. Member Picture is moving for the suspension of rules. Is there any second to the rule? Seconded by members Corvera, Alugipan, and Palacios.
So at this juncture, Madam Chair, I would like to request the Honorable Emmanuel Suiki Palacios, the gentleman from Punasi, to submit information with regards to the data that he is going to present to the Sannguniang Panlalawigan.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, my fellow SP members. When I was intentionally left behind by the boat on the way to Haluya, I opted myself to visit the Aklan Sannguniang Panlalawigan board members. And in the process, I was allowed to oversee and be a guest at the SP session. Wala kayo sa hindi, 35 minutes tapos na yung session nila. Something which is impossible when gagawin natin sa meeting. Anyway, I have information pertaining to two particular aspects. The first is that the first regional Western Visayas PDLNP regional conference will be held in the month of July in Boracay Island. Okay? So, mag-enjoy tayo doon. I will tell you the exact date and the exact hotel that we're going to stay in there for purposes of further information. Secondly, the Aklan Sannguniang Panlalawigan board members have asked for our help. They have passed a resolution strongly prohibiting or disallowing, ayaw nila, sa Tagalog ba, ayaw nila na magpatayo ng Boracay Bridge. Kasi it's going to, maraming reasons, kita din naman yung makasala sa Boracay, masyadong makikip. Dagdag-dagan pa ng traffic galing sa labas, and then masisira yung pristine at virginal na aspect ng Boracay. So, anyway, they asked us to help them make the resolution of support. So I have just distributed to you a resolution strongly supporting resolution number 593-2026 of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan of Aklan, strongly denouncing the action of the Department of Public Works and Highways in awarding the unsolicited Boracay Bridge project to Sannguniang Holdings Corporation, despite the express opposition of the municipal government of Aklan, the provincial government of Aklan, and multi-sectoral groups. If it's possible, Madam President Chair, is it possible for us to approve this particular resolution right now, or do we have to wait till discussion?
Member Palacios, please present that information later in an assigned business and for the body to deliberate.
All right, thank you. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Floor leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you very much, SP Suiki Palacios. At this juncture, we move on, Madam Chair, to the next information, which will be provided by the Honorable Sannguniang Panlalawigan member, Fernando Cordera Sr.
Member Cordero, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Rudy. As Chairperson Committee on Civil Service, and to make use of the suspended rules, I would like to inform the host body that there are two additional members of our family, and I'm presenting them to the members of this host body today. First is our newly appointed provincial librarian, Mrs. Kusat. Ma'am, please. Please stay quiet, ma'am. And also our new stenographer, Ma'am, what's the family name? Ma'am Sandy, please also join Ma'am Kusat here. Hindi na nagpat niyo, ma'am. Thank you very much. So members of this August body, these are the additional members of our family. First, our provincial librarian, Ma'am Kusat. Then, our stenographer, Ma'am Salve. I made it a point this morning because I said, being a member of our family, nagasukalaway ka sa porch, pabungguan na lang kahit ka, hindi ka maglalahay. So it's better that they will be presenting to the August body. So thank you very much. Again, thank you for Ma'am Kusat and for Ma'am Sunday for being with us. And thank you for joining the family of the student Panlalawigan. Thank you. Madam Secretary, that's all for my information this morning.
Thank you, Member Cordero. And welcome to the legislative family, Ma'am Salve and Ma'am Kusat. So with that, Furniture.
So thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair, and thank you, SP Cordera, for that presentation as Chairperson of the Committee on Civil Service. At this juncture, I move that the suspended rules be lifted, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Bishop. Rules is now resumed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. We now move on to the next item of our agenda. For the appearance of guests, we have no appearance of guests in today's session, Madam Chair. So we move on to item number 10, first reading and referral of proposed measures and communication. So we also have none, but we have several measures, Madam Chair. So letter A, for proposed ordinance, we have none. And for proposed legislative measures under item letter B of item number 10, we have 10 items here. At this juncture, I would like to request the SP Secretary, J. Gavin, to present these 10 items for their referrals in the different committees, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Bishop. The Secretary, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Honorable Christian. Letter B, item number 1 of Roman numeral number 10 is ordinance number 04-2026 of the municipality of Pantan. An ordinance adopting and declaring Pantan Palangkapo as the official municipal hymn and requiring all institutions, schools, groups, and organizations within the municipality of Pantan to sing/play the same hymn during flag ceremonies and gatherings.
To the Committee on History, Culture, and Cultural Heritage.
Number 2, Ordinance 15-2026, Municipality of Bugaso. Ordinance amending Article 2, Section 21 of the Rationalized Municipal Transport and Traffic Management Code in Bugaso.
To the Committee on Transportation.
Number 3, Ordinance 2026-20, Municipality of San Jose de la Vista. Ordinance declaring Bumol Lake and Turong wetlands as wetland conservation and management areas for biodiversity conservation, sustainable agriculture, food security, and responsible tourism, and for other purposes.
To the Joint Committee on Environment and on Tourism.
Madam Chair.
Member Peach?
I would just like to ask, Madam Chair, I have been in government for 28 years. I have never heard of Boma Lake in San Jose. So may we request, where is this lake located? Anybody? Probably the three-time mayor of San Jose de Buenavista, Honorable Cordera, can answer that query, Madam Chair.
Member Cordero, please answer, you're called upon.
Thank you very much for understanding, Jerry. Member Pixel was just ahead of me because I would like also to question the same. Because as mayor of this town for 9 years, I never heard about Boon Lake and Durog wetland. Durog sugarcane areas, siguro, no? Because I've been working there before. But this Boon Lake and Durog wetland, I think this is also alien to me. That is why whoever sponsored this, you would like to know the specifics of this area. I'm sorry, but I don't have also the idea.
Members, I think you are requested to attend to the committee hearing so that you will be well informed where is that particular lake. So it will be answered in a committee level.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Chair, because I was just surprised. The name of the lake is Bumol. So meaning, unheard of. You can hear about it.
If Member Picho is finished, Member Tobianosa is recognized for his information.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Bomol is not picture where there is marsh and sometimes the seawater sometimes would come in, but not regularly. So there are areas as they identified as Bomol. Even in Palo, historically there are areas identified as Bomol. So maybe that's where the name came from.
Thank you, Member Tobianosa, for that information. Members, so we will schedule definitely the hearing and you are all invited so that we know where that particular one is. And actually earlier, Member Palacio said that Aklan do their session effectively in a fast manner. We are challenged to that. So, Floor Leader, please proceed. Member Secretary, please continue.
May continue, Madam Chair, to number 4 of our referrals. Number 4 is Ordinance 2026-10, Municipality of Sebaste. Ordinance strengthening local youth development in the Municipality of Sebaste, institutionalizing mechanisms for youth participation, providing funds therefore and for other purposes.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports.
Number 5, Ordinance 2026-11, Municipality of Sebaste. Ordinance creating the Sebaste Sports Development Council, providing funds therefore and for other purposes.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports.
Number 6, Ordinance 306, Series of 2026, Municipality of Perugia. Ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance 187, Series of 2020, by changing the position title of building official to Municipal Government Department Head 1, open close parenthesis, Municipal Building Official in the Municipality of Perugia, Province of Luzon.
Civil Service.
Number 7 is Ordinance 2025-02, Series of 2025, Municipality of Manini. Ordinance amending and updating the Municipal Fishery Code of 2001 of Manini.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Agrarian Reform.
Number 8 is letter dated April 29, 2026 from Governor Paulo Librado Xavier requesting the Sannguniang Panlalawigan to enact the Provincial Asing Ordinance of 2026.
To the Joint Committee on Health, Sanitation and Social Services, together with the Committee on Laws and Ordinances.
Number 9, Resolution 61, Series of 2026 must be of San Remedios. Resolution approving supplemental budget number 01, Series of 2026 General Fund in the total amount of 41 million and supplemental budget number 1, 2026 of the Vigo in the total amount of 12 million.
To the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
Number 10 is request for SP authorization of Mr. Romano Escalante, TKA, President of Lucy Motor Riders League, Philippines, 2023 Incorporated.
To the Committee on NGOs and Cooperatives.
Those are the referrals, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Floor leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. We proceed to the next item in our agenda, committee reports. So we have a few committee reports. The first report is the Committee on Laws and Ordinances. At this juncture, may I request the Honorable Alfie J. Dondonicia, gentleman from Sabado, to be recognized to present two committee reports, Madam Presiding Chair.
Thank you. Member Nika, you are recognized.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Honorable Madam Presiding Officer. For committee report, under the Committee on Laws and Ordinances, committee report number 190/2026, with the subject ordinance number 134, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Tobias for the year, entitled an ordinance creating and adopting an official dry seal for the office of the Sannguniang Bayan of the Municipality of Tobias for the year, province of Antique. Referred to the committee on May 4, 2026 during our 17th regular session. For the findings and recommendations, upon review, the committee found that the said ordinance is within the legislative authority of the Sannguniang Bayan and constitutes a valid exercise of its administrative and corporate powers to promote the authenticity and integrity of official legislative documents through the adoption of an official dry seal for the office of the Sangguniang Bayan. The same is consistent with Section 22, Corporate Powers, Paragraph 8, Subparagraph 3 of Republic Act Number 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991, which authorized local government units in the Sangguniang to exercise powers necessary for efficient governance and enact ordinances for effective municipal administration, and is now being reviewed pursuant to Section 56 of the same code. Wherefore, the committee respectfully recommends that Municipal Ordinance number 134, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Tobias for the year be declared valid and operative. The same being within the powers conferred upon the Sangguniang Bayan and not inconsistent with law or existing provincial ordinances. This representation is chairperson together with Honorable Corvera Senior as Vice Chairperson and members Honorable Daniel, Honorable Bishop III, Honorable Codinosa, and Honorable Dim Reyes as ex-official member do so move, Madam Presiding Officer.
Member Nika is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 110/2026 and further moves that ordinance number 134, series of 2026 is in order. Is there any second? Seconded by members Corvera, Aliman, Panlalawigan, Ricoberto, and Bishop. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Member Nika, please proceed to the next.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. For the next committee report under the same committee, Committee Report number 193/2026 with the subject letter from Governor Paulo Everardo S. Xavier requesting the Sangguniang Panlalawigan to pass a resolution urging the Government Service Insurance System or GSIS to grant the new or renewal of the GSIS Financial Assistance Loan Program or GFAL. This was referred to the Committee on Laws and Ordinances on May 4, 2026 during our 17th regular session. For the findings and recommendations, the Governor emphasized that many government employees of the province of Antique continue to experience financial strain due to prevailing economic conditions, and that access to GFAL would provide immediate financial relief through debt consolidation and improved loan servicing arrangements. After review and deliberation, the committee finds the request meritorious and in order, considering that many government employees of the province of Antique continue to experience financial difficulties due to prevailing economic conditions. The reopening or renewal of the GFAL program will provide much needed financial relief through debt consolidation and improved take-home pay. The committee further notes that the GSIS is authorized under Republic Act Number 8291 to administer loan and financial assistance programs for its members, while the Sangguniang Panlalawigan is empowered under Republic Act number 7160 to adopt measures and advocate initiatives promoting the welfare of provincial government employees. The committee respectfully recommends the approval of a resolution urging the GSIS to grant or reopen the new and renewal availment of the GPAL program for qualified government employees of the province of Cavite. This representation again as chairperson, together with the vice chairperson, members, and ex-official member, do so move for President Officer.
Member Nika is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 193/2026. Is there a second? Seconded by Members Corvera, Agudipan, Ricoberto, and Picho. Is there a resolution presented for approval?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, we already have here the draft of the resolution.
And you can now present it if the chairperson is ready.
Madam Presiding Officer is a resolution urging the government service, a resolution with the same title, Madam Presiding Officer, as read in the committee report.
Member Nika is moving to pass a resolution, which was read earlier. Is there any second? Seconded by members Corvera, Alulipan, Taanangin, Gasalao, Ricoberto, Picho. Is there any objection? And your motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, SP Nikia. We move on to the next item, which is a report of the Committee on Tourism. So there are two reports here to be rendered by the chairperson, the Honorable ECL President, Antique Chapter, the Honorable Ricky Lavega, Madam Chair.
Member Lavega, you are recognized.
This representation as the chairman of the Committee on Tourism respectfully submits for consideration of this August body Committee Report number 136/2026, the subject of which is Ordinance number 2026-14 of the Municipality of San Jose de Bella Vista, entitled An Ordinance Creating and Institutionalizing Barangay Tourism, Culture and Arts Council in all barangays of San Jose de Bella Vista, providing for their supervision in the Municipal Tourism Office, and promoting community participation in cultural arts preservation and tourism development. Efforts to the Committee on Tourism on March 30, 2026 during the regular session in Panlalawigan. Findings and observation. After careful review and deliberation of the proposed ordinance, not the referral to the Provincial Legal Office, the Committee on Tourism hereby adopts the legal opinion issued by the said office, which is attached to this committee report. For reference, committee cited its discussion and conclusion that the municipality has the power to set up councils that promote tourism, culture, and arts. This authority comes from the Constitution's guarantee of local autonomy and the General Welfare Clause, and is reinforced by the Tourism Act of 2009, which encourages LGUs to lead planning and promote communities. The Sannguniang Bayan of San Jose de Bella Vista may validly enact the proposed ordinance creating BT-CACs in all barangays. The ordinance must, however, clearly state that the Municipal Tourism Office role is limited for coordination and technical supervision, not control. If drafted this way, the ordinance will be legally sound and will also strengthen the community participation, heritage preservation, and tourism development across the municipality barangays. Barangays are given local autonomy under the Constitution. Municipalities, however, are responsible for making sure barangay actions follow the law. This is called supervision. It is different from control. The Tourism Act of 2009 supports this by requiring LGUs to prepare tourism development plans with community participation, heritage protection, and coordination with national agencies. The DILG also issued a product circular number 2017/133, which encourages LGUs to create councils for culture and arts. The proposed BT-CAC, though barangay-based, follows this national policy direction. The conclusion: the Sangguniang Bayan may validly create BT-CACs in all barangays provided that its authority and function is limited to its purpose and that there are available funds for its implementation. Thus, the Committee on Tourism hereby moves to approve and adopt this committee report. I move that ordinance number 2016-14 of the municipality of San Jose de Buena Vista entitled an ordinance creating and institutionalizing barangay tourism, culture, and arts council in all barangays of San Jose de Buena Vista, providing for the supervision in the municipal tourism office and promoting community participation in culture and arts preservation, tourism development, be declared in order.
Thank you. Is it a second or a question?
Second.
Okay. Member Lavera is moving for the adoption of committee report number 136-2026 and further moves the ordinance number 2026-14 of the municipality of San Jose de Buena Vista be declared in order. Seconded by members Corvera, Alipan, Panlalawigan, Ricoberto, Picho, and Palacios. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Thank you. Please proceed.
Another committee report, Madam Chair, committee report number 137-2026. The subject of which is ordinance number 2026-19 of the municipality of San Jose de Buena Vista entitled an ordinance recognizing and acknowledging the fiestas, festival, and community celebrations of the barangays of the municipality of San Jose de Buena Vista, Antique, and providing for the establishment of an official municipal festival calendar, promotion, and other purposes. Refers to the Committee on Tourism on March 13, 2026, during the 12th regular session of the Sannguniang. The findings and observation. After careful review and deliberation of the proposed ordinance, and after referral to the Provincial Legal Office, the Committee on Tourism hereby adopts the legal opinion issued by the said office, which is attached to this committee report. For reference, the committee cited its discussion and conclusion that the ordinance is generally valid, but it must be emphasized that the focus should be on recognition, coordination, and promotion, rather than as a declaration of special holidays or a commitment by the municipality to sponsor or finance the actual celebration. Moreover, the constitutional prohibition of the separation of church and state should likewise be strictly observed, considering that most, not all fiestas, has religious implications. A municipal calendar that consolidates barangay submitted dates and provides for publication and promotion is a valid exercise of local authority. It serves as a coordination tool, helping the municipality organize information and promote tourism and culture. However, because fiestas are generally proprietary in nature, the ordinance should avoid language that obligates the municipality to sponsor or finance the celebration themselves. The safer approach is to limit municipal involvement or imposition, documentation, and promotion. In conclusion, the Sangguniang may validly act the proposed ordinance to ensure legality of the ordinance use, recognize and consolidate barangays submitted fiesta and festival dates. Next, provide for publication and promotion through an official municipal calendar. Third, avoid any language that requires municipal sponsorship or direct funding of celebrations themselves. As the Committee on Tourism hereby moves to approve and adopt the committee report. And I move that the ordinance number 2026-19 of the municipality of San Jose de Buena Vista entitled an ordinance recognizing and acknowledging the fiestas, festivals, and Antique, and providing for the establishment of official municipal festival calendar and promotion and process be declared in order. And I so move, Madam Chair.
Member Lavera is moving for the adoption of committee report 137-2026 and further moves the ordinance number 2026-19 of the San Jose de Buena Vista be declared in order. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Corvera, Alugipan, Panlalawigan, Picho, and Palacios. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved. Thank you, Member Lavera. Ground Leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. We move on to the next item under committee reports. And this is a report of the Joint Committee on Laws and Ordinances and Tourism. There are two reports to be rendered there. And again, one report for the Joint Committee on Laws and Ordinances and Peace and Order and Public Safety. All of these three reports will be rendered by the chairperson, Honorable J. Netia, of the lead committee on laws and ordinances. So please recognize him, Madam Chair, to render this report.
Thank you, Floor Leader. Member Attorney Nikia, please proceed.
Thank you again, Honorable Floor Leader and Madam Presiding Officer. So to proceed with the committee report on the Joint Committee on Laws and Ordinances and on tourism, is committee report number 191-2026 with the subject Ordinance number 135, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Tobias for year, entitled the Ordinance Institutionalizing Sinagya sa Kalsada as an official annual event of the Municipality of Tobias for year to be celebrated every first week of September and providing funds therefore and for other purposes. This was referred to the Joint Committee on Laws and Ordinances and Tourism on May 4, 2026 during our 17th regular session. For the findings and recommendations, upon review, the committee found that the ordinance validly institutionalizes Sinagya sa Kalsada as the official annual cultural and tourism event of the Municipality of Tobias for the year, aimed at promoting local cultural heritage, fostering community unity, encouraging civic participation, and enhancing tourism and economic activity within the municipality. It further establishes the implementing body, funding mechanism, and participatory framework necessary to ensure the program's sustained and orderly implementation. The joint committees likewise determined that the ordinance is consistent with Section 16 of Republic Act Number 7160, which empowers local government units to enact measures promoting the general welfare, cultural preservation and enrichment, and economic development. It is likewise in harmony with the policy under Republic Act Number 9593, otherwise known as the Tourism Act of 2009, which encourages local government units to advance tourism development and cultural heritage-based initiatives. Wherefore, the committees respectfully recommend that the principal ordinance number 135, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Tobias for year be declared valid and operative. The same being within the powers conferred upon us as a body and not inconsistent with the law or existing provincial ordinances. The committee do so move, the joint committee do so move by the presiding officer.
Thank you. Member Nika is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 191-2026 and further moves that ordinance number 135, series of 2026 of Tobias Premier be declared in order. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Corbera, Alipan, Panlalawigan, Palacios, and La Vega. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. To proceed, committee report number 192-2026, still on the joint committee with the subject, ordinance number 136, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Tobias for year entitled An Ordinance Institutionalizing Banaan sa Balwa as the official annual opening of Christmas lights every December in the Municipality of Tobias for year. This was referred to the joint committee on May 4, 2026 during our 17th regular session. For the findings and recommendations, upon review, the joint committee found that the said ordinance institutionalizes Banaan sa Balwa as the official annual Christmas lights opening, underscoring the importance of preserving cultural traditions, fostering community unity, and celebrating the Christmas season through festive activities such as ceremonial lighting, cultural presentations, competitions, and tourism-related programs. It further provides for the creation of an organizing committee, identification of funding sources, and broad community participation to ensure sustainability and inclusivity. The Joint Committee further finds that the ordinance is consistent with Section 16 of the Local Government Code, authorizing local government units to enact ordinances and adopt measures promoting the general welfare, the preservation and enrichment of culture, and enhancing economic prosperity, as well as the policy declared under Republic Act Number 9593, otherwise known as the Tourism Act of 2010. Wherefore, the Joint Committee respectfully recommend that the said municipal ordinance declared valid in appearance of the same being within the powers conferred upon the Sangguniang Bayan and not inconsistent with law or existing provincial ordinances. The joint committee is so moved without presiding officer.
On behalf of the Joint Committee, Member Nika is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 192-2026 and further moves that ordinance number 136 series of 2026 of the municipality of Lubias Ponier be declared in order. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by Members Corvera, Aluipan, Panlalawigan, Bigshot, and Palacios. Is there any objection? I hear none. Motion is approved. Thank you, Attorney. Please proceed to the next.
Our last committee report without presiding officer under the joint committees on laws and ordinances and peace and order and public safety. Committee report number 133-2026 with the subject ordinance number 2026-03 of the municipality of Sebastian entitled an ordinance regulating the installation of signages, pamphlets, and other lighted signages in public places within the municipality of Sebastian, prescribing fees, guidelines, and penalties for violation thereof and for other purposes. This was referred to the Joint Committee on March 30, 2026 during our 12th regular session. For the findings and recommendations, upon referring to the Provincial Legal Office, they are of the opinion that Ordinance number 2026-03 is supported by statutory and jurisprudential authority of the Sangguniang Bayan. It affirms the requiring a permit and payment of fees before installing signages in public places is a valid exercise of local police power. The ordinance is consistent with the Sangguniang's authority to regulate the use of streets and public areas. The ordinance is legally valid and within the legislative powers of the Sangguniang Bayan. It is recommended that implementation guidelines ensure that permit requirements and fees are reasonable, uniform, and not oppressive. Finally, regulation is strictly limited to signages affecting public places, public streets, and public safety. Wherefore, the committees respectfully recommend that the said ordinance be declared valid and imperative the same being within the powers conferred upon the Sangguniang Bayan and not inconsistent with the law or existing provincial ordinances. On behalf of the Joint Committee, this representation will be submitted to the Presiding Officer.
Member Nico is moving for the adoption of Committee Report number 133-2026 and further moves the ordinance number 2026-03 of the municipality of Sebastian be declared in order. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by Members Corvera, Aluhipan, Rico Puerto, La Vega, Piccio. Is there any objection? I hear none. Motion is approved. Thank you. Third leader, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, SPD Chair. We move on to item number 12 in our calendar of business. We have one letter A, unfinished business. This is a letter dated April 23, 2026 from Governor Paulo Everardo Aguirre requesting authority to represent the province of Antique and to enter into a MOA or Memorandum of Understanding with Innovations for Poverty Action, covering collaboration on the Philippine Socio-Economic Panel Survey. This was presented last session, on the 17th regular session last week, under urgent matter number 1, but this was not discussed. And so it is again included in this calendar of business. So at this juncture, I would like to request the chairperson of the Committee on Health and Social Services, the Honorable Zoilo Bernardo Tubianosa, the gentleman from Sibalom, to present this for the perusal of this August body, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Tobinosa, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to our floor leader. Madam Chair, I'm reviewing the memorandum of understanding between Innovation for Poverty Action and provincial government budget presentation that there are three provisions that needs to be clarified. So, these areas of collaboration its partners to the Madam Chair. So I hope that this different also be close and to be discussed in the different committees.
Uh, Thank you. Member Togenosa, are you forwarding or this will be a joint committee endeavor?
Your committee would like to meet on what is the committees.
Okay. So is everybody available that the said item be referred to the joint committee on laws and ordinances, the new committee, jointly with the Committee on Health and Sanitation and Social Services? Is there any second? Seconded by members Aluhitan, Picture, and Alamis. Item 1 is hereby referred to the aforementioned committee.
Thank you.
Floor leader?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Still on unfinished business, we have none here in this calendar of business, but it was earlier discussed that the item that was presented by the Honorable Sweetie Palacios be discussed under unfinished business today. Unassigned business, not unfinished business. So in that case, Madam Chair, we have one unfinished business which will be discussed by the Honorable Ricky Rebecca, but since it is not included here in our calendar of business, then I would like to move that the rules be suspended to accommodate again this unfinished business to be presented by the Honorable PCL President.
Floor leader, for the information of everyone, may we be apprised what is that unfinished business to be presented by member Rebecca?
I would like to request Vicky Rebecca to explain.
You have the floor, member Rebecca.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, this has been reference to the committee referral that was made during the previous session relative to the happening in BGP. I think a rehabilitation center where there are some reported prisoners that escaped the rehabilitation center, and to the information this frequently happened. So this was referred to a joint committee. This representation is not of Honorable Palacios. However, when we talked with each other, we decided to call upon that this matter will be discussed in the plenary by inviting the provincial warden for that matter.
With that, member Picture is moving for the suspension of rules to cater the concern of member Rebecca. Is there any second? Seconded by member Cordera and Alumitan. Rules is suspended. Please proceed, member Rebecca.
With the manifestation that I have made, Madam Chair, I just want to present to the body that we should have to write communication to the provincial warden and let the provincial warden appear in our next succeeding session to clarify matters on relating to the issue.
For clarification, is it in behalf of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan, you're requesting the SP Secretary to write the letter or the committee, the lead committee?
I suggest that consider the fact that the invitation is for the plenary to throw some inquiry. Yes, suggest that the letter should be signed by the SP Secretary in behalf of the Sangguniang.
Mr. Secretary, please, is there any, are you actually, you're directed to comply? Okay. So with that, member Rebecca is moving to invite the appearance of the provincial warden to appear in the Sannguniang Panlalawigan as the appearance of guest next regular session, and requesting the secretary to write the letter in behalf of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan.
Thank you.
Is there any second to the motion? Before, Member Nika, you're recognized for clarification.
Clarification, Madam Presiding Officer. Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, because I was the one who sponsored the resolution for the Joint Committee on Oversight and Committee on Justice to conduct an investigation with the matter necessitate a committee report, Madam Presiding Officer, referring the matter again back or referring the concern of the resolution back to the plenary. Or will the manifestation be enough? Or will the manifestation suffice? Madam Presiding Officer.
I think the manifestation of Member Nika is in order that I think as this is under still the committee, the joint committee, it is proper that the action will be through a committee report requesting for the appearance of guests. So Member Lavega, can you facilitate to draft the committee report and present it later under unfinished business or unassigned business?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, because what will appear in the appearance of this would be
Committee report.
a committee report. That would be already the resolution that I sponsor, but a committee report as an action taken with respect to the resolution requesting the joint committee on Presiding Officer.
Member Lavega?
That's one way, that's one option, Madam Chair. But it could also be that we can invite the provincial warden to appear before us so that every member of this office body will have an opportunity to participate. And then afterwards, the committee will have to draft the committee report in that particular regard that will be presented in the plenary on our succeeding session, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The floor leader is requested that to please guide the chairperson committee and rules to guide. There is an earlier motion that the Sannguniang Panlalawigan will request appearance of guests. Yet, Member Nika questioned that the same was referred to the committee. Hence, it is proper that the committee report be submitted. Committee rules.
Madam Chair, there are two options. There are two options that we may be able to take. The suggestions of the SPDT is that the invitation of the provincial warden is a committee report that has already been adopted by the committee. That is option. But our intention, when we confirm with each other, the chairman of the other committee, that we will invite the
The chair rules that it is just proper as the item was referred to the committee, it needs to be reported back to the plenary. And if the joint committee so desire that its recommendation is to call the presence of the provincial warden, so be it, that it will be in the form of a committee report, so that the item that was duly referred be reported back in the plenary.
I would like to accommodate the view of the gentleman sponsor of that resolution, that the committee report is to invite the provincial warden, so that in the plenary, so that every member of this office body could participate in the discussion of the inquiry. Then afterwards, whatever may be the outcome of the inquiry, direct inquiry to the provincial warden, we will still be doing our committee report by the next succeeding session. Madam Presiding, for consideration still of this office body.
Committee rules, please guide the members.
There are two conflicting statements here, Madam Presiding Chair. The Honorable Lydia would like this matter to be referred to the committee, for the joint committee to tackle this issue, and whatever will be the result of the investigation will be submitted to the plenary.
May I correct? It has already been referred. The matter has already been referred previously. And to avoid the view, the Honorable Nikia, the decision of the committee is to invite the provincial warden to appear before the plenary so that everybody could participate.
And what is your pleasure?
Then after that appearance, the joint committee would still be drafting the committee report based on the outcome of the plenary discussion, and again will be presented later. So this is a series of actions, Mr. Presiding. Madam Presiding,
in this case, if the committee has already called the attention of the wanted, it has already been investigated, then it is right for presentation now to the referee. But did they already conduct a committee hearing?
Uh, Gentlemen, the chair declares recess. Simple lang mo, na-refer sa committee, joint committee. So part ng investigation ng committee, gusto nila para makaparticipate ang tanan ng SB members, Richard Evans sa plenary. Still part of the committee work. Okay, so with that, ang question na is that, na-refer ninyo kung sa may committee, dapat ang committee mag-present ang committee report na recommendation rather than sa plenary. So, both gentlemen have valid points.
That is why I manifested that I would like to accommodate the suggestion of the sponsor that invitation that may be directed to the commission warden as part of the committee action.
So, why not na lang para simple? Draft na ng committee report that the committee is recommending present later sa unassigned business to call the presence of the warden para ano na lang, babalik sa plenary ang concern. Member Bayong, Member Pichong, guide, so okay? So, ano na lang, you have to appeal the earlier motion. Kaya wala ka ba nang approve? May indicator po ang objection.
To save time, Madam Chair, can we allowed to present it orally?
It's still up to the body. The body will decide if they will entertain a verbal motion. Committee report.
Yes, Madam Chair. Consultan lang kami to present a oral committee report.
Simply draft, simple lang. The committee recommends that the appearance. Committee number lang, the committee recommends the appearance of guests. And that's it. So, session is now resumed. Member Nagaya, please amend your earlier motion. Member Nagaya, please kindly amend the earlier motion. That the item that was discussed be referred later to a committee report under unassigned business.
Madam Chair, on this particular matter, I move that the same be transferred to the unassigned business for the committee to report.
So Member Rebecca is moving that the earlier motion be transferred to unassigned business later to be presented. Seconded by Member Corbera. Florian, you are recognized for the restoration of rules.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. In that situation, since it was referred to the unassigned business, then I move that the rules be referred. I move, Madam Chair, that the suspended rules be referred.
Rules restored. Please proceed to the next item.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair. We move on to item letter B under calendar of business, item number 12, business for the day. So we have quite a few items here for special measures. So we proceed to item number B1. And this is a letter dated April 29, 2026 from Governor Paulo Eduardo Abir, requesting authority to represent the province of Antique and execute the deed of donation in favor of the University of Antique for the donation of an IT equipment for the use of the College of Maritime Studies. Madam Chair, during the previous session, of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan.
Madam Chair, if I raise a point of order.
We already approved this.
Member Bishop, Member Lavega is raising a point of order. What is your point of order, Member Lavega?
Madam Chair, my point of order is that this particular measure, I think this is improper that the same be reflected on the agenda for today's session. Because this matter has already been approved during our previous session. Probably, there was a manifestation before that was raised by normal video, which can be treated as a point of order because there seems to be some procedural flaws. Because according to him, he was objecting that because of poor connection, his objections was not so recognized, and there must be a procedural flaw. I think, consider the fact that the minutes says that it has already been approved, it would be inappropriate that the same will still be reflected on the business for today. Under the urgent business, I think the most appropriate is an agenda that would call for a motion for consideration on the vote that was taken during the previous session. But not directly reflecting the same because this has already been taken before. What's the purpose of reflecting this again for the second time in the same agenda? I think the calendar that should be reflected in is the motion for consideration on the vote that was adopted on the previous session.
Thank you, Member Lavega. Floor leader, the chairperson, committee rules, please guide the plenary regarding the RRP.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's why I was explaining it when you requested the Honorable Lavega to be recognized. So if you gave me the authority to explain, then I would have explained it.
As a point of order is the highest motion, so I have to supersede everything, so I have to accommodate him.
Okay, so I go back.
So please answer.
Yes, Madam Presiding Chair. I go back again to the same explanation. Let me read first the text that was written here in our agenda. This is a letter dated April 29, 2026, from Governor Paulo Everardo Javier, requesting authority to represent the province of Antique and execute a deed of donation in favor of the University of Antique for the donation of an IT equipment for the use of the College of Maritime Studies. During the session, the 17th regular session last Monday, when we had an online session and with the Zoom from Kaluya, this was presented already, correct? However, this was approved by the body because it was already seconded. However, there was a query from SP Gariong and SP Dimamay that this particular item be held in abeyance because of some issues that need to be answered by the executive. Now, since there was a problem with the communication, this was not properly addressed. However, since it was already approved, under our internal rules, Rule 21, reconsideration, Section 1, who may vote? Procedure. A motion to reconsider a vote on any action which pertains this one, an ordinance or a matter or a resolution may only be made by a member who voted with the prevailing side. A member who abstained or was absent during the voting cannot move for reconsideration. Now, who is the prevailing side? Of course, those who voted. Now, who voted? May we find out who voted? Everybody. SP Secretary, who voted? Please specify. Sino ang nagboto? No objection. Specify. And identify those who voted. There were 8 of us.
Madam Chair, may I consult first the minutes because in the minutes, It says here there are the presiding officer, the Honorable Vice Governor Genevieve
I am not questioning the vote.
There are 11
Explain my
voting
manifestation.
affirmative,
Why it came
zero
to
negative,
it came to be.
zero abstention. This is as far as resolution number 437/2026 is concerned. That is the minutes, Madam Chair. In that minutes also, the Vice Governor manifested that she said, with what's the pleasure of the sponsor and his urgent pleasures, may I remind the body that this has already been approved and voted majority and already deemed with no objection. Thus already on the record, I request that this be an internal agreement for us that the resolution will not be released until such recommendations in the following requirement because offered or requested or was stated by Emperor Berio are complied by the office of the governor. So there were further discussions, Madam Chair, and the last manifestation is by the floor leader. And he said, Bishop said, yes, I am already near hindi ko bati. And he said, Madam Chair, I appeal from the floor leader. So in that case, there is already an appeal from the floor leader that it is possible that we discuss the particular issue again during our regular session next week, Madam Chair, for us to be able to finally approve or disapprove this particular issue because of the clarity of information that is needed between the executive branch and the Sangguniang Panlalawigan.
So in other words, Madam Presiding Chair,
It is very clear here who may vote for reconsideration.
a motion to reconsider a vote on any action, matter of ordinance or resolution may only be made by a member who voted with it prevailing side.
So if there are 11 members who voted,
If they prevail, any one of those members can move to reconsider that vote because it has already been approved by this August body. So we will be able to only examine this if there will be a vote or a move to reconsider from those who voted in favor.
Thank you, floor leader. Before we entertain the manifestation of Member Berio, let us first address the point of order of the Member Lavega. Your point of order is the inclusion of this item. But it was answered already by the floor leader due to the manifestation presented last session. That motion can be appealed, and it is consistent as well in the internal rules and procedure of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan. So I think it is proper that we discuss this today for reconsideration.
I think there is a need for us to examine the manner of approval. The manner of approval is that it was approved because there is no objection. Diba? But it came out later.
Walang motion
it
for
was approved
consideration, walang motion.
because there was no objection. But it appears that that procedural matter was contested by the Honorable Berio.
There is no motion for reconsideration, but it was a motion to appeal, which is actually allowed under our internal rules and procedure.
The appeal, that is an appeal to the decision of the chair. But that is not the intention of the Honorable Berio.
no.
That is not the intention to appeal with the decision of the chair. What had happened, let me finish first. What had happened is that let us examine what is the rule. The approval was made because of no objection. If it was contested, the next thing that we should have to do is to division of the house. Division of the house.
But
Then there comes again a motion for reconsideration. So before the matter that should have been reflected in the agenda is a motion for reconsideration, not directly iliwanag na ang subject sa agenda because this is not allowed.
Let us, before we could proceed, let us not really be procedural in this. We have to acknowledge that there is a technical difficulty last session. That is a questionable, actually, because we cannot hear. So if we are very, we will do this in a procedural way, I think we will question a lot of decision.
That would be the case Madam Chair, let us follow the rule that was read by the issue,
Uh,
that the motion for reconciliation should come with the prevailing side. So I was one of those who voted on that matter, so may I present the motion for reconsideration. I move that the matter that was approved previously be reconsidered, Madam Chair, because of the difficulty of internet connection at that time.
So, is your manifestation in relation to the motion presented?
If the matter, the motion for reconsideration will be considered, then let us have the discussion.
Okay, Member Guerrero, please proceed with your manifestation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What we are doing right now is kind of quite confusing because of the interval between last week and today due to the communication gap. There is no motion to appeal to the ruling of the chair. There is none. And in fact, the motion for reconsideration is just a question of clarifying why we came up with a vote like that. So there is no need to change the vote. The resolution stands that we approve the deed of donation with our authority. What I want to say today is to give us a clearer view why we did so. And because it was discussed because of the problem with communication. But I have all the answers now why we should support that resolution. If you allow me, Madam Chair, then I proceed to just enlighten my fellow board members why we approve that resolution. Just for the record. So therefore, there is no motion for reconsideration. There is no motion to appeal to the relationship. My intent is to explain for enlightenment purposes. For the record.
We have a pending motion on the floor. Would you withdraw that motion? Because we cannot proceed with a pending motion without the ruling.
Well, if the intention of the manifestation will not affect the vote or the
It will
approval
not.
of the measure that was taken previously,
Yes.
well, that could also be possible.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And
Member Lavegas.
with that, because my motion was not yet seconded, I can still.
Withdraw.
Okay, Member Lavegas is withdrawing his earlier motion. So, has it not been seconded? So, Member Guerrero, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We thank Board Member Likia for the report last time because that report was approved by all of us. So it's part of resolution number 00/2026. Resolution authorizing Governor Javier to execute a deed of donation in behalf of the province of Antique in favor of UA, approving the donation of certain information technology equipment for the use of College of Maritime Studies. Now, Madam Chair, I did a little research being Vice Chair of the Committee on Oversight because my chairman is Member Navega, I am the Vice Chair. Today, I talked to the PGSO and to the head of the PMU. In fact, I reached out to the former president of UA, Sir Pablo Crespo, just a while ago. And the question that arose was, bakit ngayon lang tayo nagbibigay ng authority for the deed of donation when the equipment, the pieces of equipment were delivered in 2016 yet. So, 2016 pa na-delivered siya, 2026 ito ma-approve. It's because of AOM of COA. Okay? May AOM ang COA. Nagdalang ng daraturo na dapat para magmura sa libro ng provincial government of equipment, dapat ma-formally donate niya. If you know what I mean. Therefore, when we procured the equipment in 2015, and then turned it over to UA in 2016, there was no TICO donation. Therefore, COA found out, and that is the reason why Governor Paulo Javier is requesting for a deed of donation authority, which is the proper way to do it. The cost of the equipment was 5,549,989. And I found out, I only discovered a while ago, that it was my own motion to approve that amount in favor of UA. But then, long time ago pa yun, that was my last term as a SP member. So it was approved by the majority na ibigay sa UA ang equipment for their maritime simulator. Yung parang bridge, ito sa UA may building na doon, bridge ng ako, ang tapor, may bridge ng ako, to, ang mura ang equipment. So Madam Chair, it says here rightly and properly introduced by Member Dikia in this resolution that at the time of said transfer and delivery, which was 2016, no formal deed of donation was executed and no prior authority from the Sannguniang Panlalawigan authorizing the provincial governor to execute the same had been secured, resulting in the subject IT equipment remaining recorded under the property and accounting records of the province of Antique. So maski tulad sa UA dyan, kita magyapon ng tadiya. Therefore, it will be a deed of donation to formally remove from the records of the provincial government the property and for it to be rightfully owned by the UA. So wala tayong questions sa ginawang resolution ni Member Dikia. It was only a motion, manifestation from my end, the member di Mamay, Member Bixio, to clarify further bakit nagkaganon. And today is the opportunity for us to understand that. So, in fact, President Crespo said, thank you, Gil. I finally magula na sa libro na sa amon na libro. So that's it. So at least para klaro ka natin na the resolution stands, approved by all of us, and it's just ang masagulo lang nila is, it took about 10 or 11 years for us to donate properly. And I hope this practice will not happen during our term. Pag sinabi natin, binili tayo at i-donate natin, kagaya ng mga sasakyan ng emergency rescue vehicle, pagkabili, pagka-deliver, ayaw tayo ng authority sa SB para magamit tayo ng end user. Para lang that is good governance practice, Madam Chair. So I have said my piece. Thank you for understanding and making my comments part of the records, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Brio. So with that, there is no action needed for this. Member Rivera is recognized for his manifestation.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. And I would like to manifest that if this is always the thing that is happening to us, always rectifying some defects in order to strengthen accountability. What is this? Is this part of good governance? What am I trying to say? Past 10 years have passed, and nothing has been done. I voted yes because I'm sure that the amount was only, I don't know, it was also my fault that I voted prior to asking how much is the amount. And to say, I thought that it is about to be given, but it was only given 10 years ago. So what's happening? And come to say, Madam Secretary, that it was the previous administration who undertook the granting of such IT equipment to marine studies at UA. Well, I just don't know, but I don't know. Well, it's again the other thing that we're going to do, always trying to fix the damage, same, rectify all things that has not been done properly. So what's this? Are we the shock absorber? Is this set up of reason Panlalawigan, the shock absorber of all these things that has been done properly? I'm going to say, I voted, that is why I also have the right to ask for some reconsideration. If we have known that was done long before, I could not have voted. I would like to sympathize with Member Limamay and Member Trillo. They are about to object But instead of objecting, the presiding chair counted them as hope because they're raising their hands. Isn't it, Member Pino? You will request that you're supposed to object for something, but your raising of hands was already voted as in favor of the resolution. It is because of the gap. So I think today is the day. Because it has been really the manifestation that you have to reconsider this issue today because it is not a joke. It added to another problem because it was 10 years, more than 10 years ago. I thought that it is about to be given, but it was already given. So what kind of governance we are having now in the province of Leyte? And for us members of this Walang that are being always asked to facilitate, to rectify, and to do corrective measures para na ma-arrest sa ating book of accounts and it will be transferred to UA. So the President said, I manifest this sentiment because if this is always the thing that is happening, that's bad governance for the province of Leyte.
So your manifestation is you recorded, so that,
Yeah, and I hope that it will no longer be happening because it is, to me, not good governance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
thank you, Member Rivera, Floor Leader.
Madam Chair, the same is true with me. I thought that this donation is only now, but it was done already 10 years ago. So we were not properly informed regarding this particular donation, Madam Chair. So if I may suggest, as Floor Leader, Madam Chair, may I request to suspend the session for 1 or 2 minutes that we discuss, because there is an AOM from COA. I was not of the impression that this was just a mere simple donation. But since there is an AOM from COA, I think we need to resolve this. So, if I may suggest a 1 minute suspension, so we will discuss this one.
Okay, the request of the floor leader for 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Suspension is granted.
Yeah.
Session is on recess. Feel free to discuss naka-recess. Restored na nila? Resume.
Ikaw na lang mag-manifest na issue, kailan?
Makadama kami. May celebration. Next week lang ito celebrate after the festa. So, festa nyo rin yan. Kita ka ano eh? Okay, right?
Kung gusto mo mag-break ka lang, nakakaano mo.
Okay, working na. Dahil natapos na ng gabi.
Working classes.
Working lunch kami na Steve.
Pero iba nyo urgent yan, gusto mo ipa-refer sa committee?
Clyde.
Sige. Basahin mo na, tapos pera.
Session is now resumed. Floor leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. During the temporary suspension of the session, with regards to issue number 1, this particular bit of the nation, I would like to recognize, I wish that we recognize the Honorable Ricky Rebecca to intimate the intention of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan in relation to this particular issue, Madam Chair. I wish that they be recognized.
Member Rebecca, you are recognized.
Para masakit ko yung ewan. Masakit ko yung ewan. No, approve it is hotel. But the finalization of the resolution will be subject to time. Joint bill, committee of laws.
Member Rebecca, are you ready with your motion pertaining item number 1? Okay. So, floor leader, please proceed to item 2. Item 1 is already decided last session and affirmed earlier that the previous approved resolution is okay. So, please proceed to item 2.
Okay, Madam Chair, we proceed to item number 2. Items 2, 3, 4, and 5 are urgent measures. So I would like to request the SP Secretary to read this for referrals to the different committees, Madam Chair.
Member Tomilosa, are you ready to report on these items? Only in item 3. So first is item 2. Mr. Secretary, please read the title of item 2 so that we can refer it to the committee. Two. 3 items. Member Toyarosa, you are recognized. So only to those items properly reviewed by the committee.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. It's for item number 2 on urgent business. It's a letter dated April 29 from Governor of the Province of requesting authority to represent the province of Antique and to enter into a memorandum of understanding among the province of Antique, the Department of Health, Western Visayas Center for Health Development, and the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation relative to the implementation of local health system integration under the Universal Healthcare Framework. So, Madam Chair, together with the letter of the governor, is opinion coming from the office of the legal, of the provincial legal officer, and the subject of it is firmly supported in existing constitutional and statutory provisions governing public health and local governance. It draws authority from the state policy under 1957 Constitution to promote the right to health, as well as the Public Act of 7160 to empower local government to cooperate and to coordinate in delivery of basic services. But significantly, Madam Chair, the memorandum of understanding operationalize the objectives of the Public Act number 1123, which mandates the integration of local health systems into province-wide and city-wide health systems to ensure efficient, equitable, and accessible health services. It likewise incorporates compliance with the Data Privacy Act of 2012 or Republic Act number 10173 on relation to the handling of health data. So Madam Chair, significant in the provision of the memorandum of understanding is that it expressed that the memorandum of understanding expresses declaration under Article 7 that it is non-binding in nature. The category states that the document does not create enforceable legal obligations and does not compel the parties to perform specific activities unless a subsequent and definitive memorandum of agreement is executed. So, Madam Chair, actually this has been done fairly on in previous years, but memorandum of agreement has specifically linked back to the different provisions of the memorandum of understanding. And recommendation from the provincial legal office, we will find that the subject memorandum of understanding is legally valid, policy aligned, and beneficial to public health interest. That it is non-binding and primarily preparatory in fact that it provides a solid framework for advancing health system integration in the province of Antique. So we respectfully, this representation respectfully recommends that the court be granted to the provincial governor to sign this memorandum of understanding. I so move, Madam Chair.
Member Toyarosa is moving to grant authority to the governor to enter, to represent the province and to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Health, Western Visayas Center for Health regarding the implementation of the local health system integration and under the Universal Healthcare framework. Is there any discussion? If not, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Corvera, Aluhipan, Rico Puerto, and Piccio. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved.
It's resolution number 429.
Mr. Secretary, please read the number of the resolution and the title for petition.
Madam Chair, for approval of the Panlalawigan is resolution number 439/2026. A resolution authorizing Governor Panlalawigan to represent the provincial government of Antique and enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Health, Western Visayas Center for Health Development.
and the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation of Philippines relative to the implementation of the local health integration under the Universal Health Care Framework. And the members of the Panlalawigan who favor resolution number 439/2026 are honorable members Rivera, Leon, Aluhipan, Recoberto, Casalao, La Vega, Panlangit, Ogerosa, Pixio, Alanis. There are 10 votes, Madam Presiding Officer, in favor of approving Resolution 439/2026, and Honorable Snikia and Palacios are outside of the session hall.
With 10 affirmative votes, 0 abstention, and 0 negative votes, and 2 members outside the session hall, resolution number 439/2026 is now approved. Please proceed to the next item.
Item number 3, Madam Chair, is a letter dated April 29, 2026, from Governor Paul Alvarado Sannguniang, requesting the committee to represent the province of Antique to the Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District Hospital and the memorandum of agreement with Ocean Torres and Pamundario, Municipal Mayor of Panlalawigan, Antique, designating the said hospital as a referral facility for outpatient mental health services under the Federal Benefit Package. So, Madam Chair, this is to operationalize the referral system with regards to referral of mental health patients to our center in Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District Hospital as our center for mental health. So, Madam Chair, together with the letter is legal opinion coming from the Office of the Legal Officer. Its conclusions of which is that the referral arrangement between the municipality of Panlalawigan, Antique, and Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District Hospital is consistent with the mandate of the Public Act 11036 or the Mental Health Act of 2018. And the Sannguniang and the Public of Congress may have it as a religious resolution authorizing Honorable Janicolas Macaulay, Mayor, to enter the state memorandum of agreement with Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District Hospital as designated referral facility for the implementation of outpatient mental health referral and support service under the outpatient mental health Philippine Health Benefit Package. So the chair is a presentation. Moves the resolution that the governor be authorized to enter into to represent the province of Antique to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Honorable Johnny Flores Macaulay, Municipal Mayor of Panlalawigan, for the implementation of outpatient mental health referral and support service under the outpatient mental health benefit package. I don't know.
Member Tobinosa is moving to authorize the governor in relation to the earlier mentioned MOA. Is there any discussion? Member Berrion, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for Board Member Tobinosa for this matter being discussed on the floor. Madam Chair, want to ask Member Tobinosa, is the MOA with Honorable Macaulay specifically to between Patnomon and Ramon Masa? Are there not other towns who have also expressed this same intent?
Actually, Madam Chair, we have already approved other municipalities who have requested for a memorandum of agreement with regards to mental health referral with the Ramon Masa, being our provincial mental health center.
So, ibig sabihin, why the Patnomon and Marang? Why specific on the Patnomon?
This one is specifically to Panlalawigan Rural Health Unit, represented by the mayor. So the benefit package can be utilized by the patients that they are referred to Ramon Masa.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Berrion. So, any more discussion? If not, is there any second to the motion earlier presented? Seconded by Members Corvera, Luhipan, Rico Puerto, and Casalaw and Piccho, and Panlalawigan. With that, Mr. Secretary, please read the number of the resolution and the title of votation.
For approval, Madam Chair of the Senate Panlalawigan, is resolution number 440/2026, a resolution authorizing Governor Paolo Everardo de Samir to represent the provincial government of Antique with Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District and Ramon Masa Senior Memorial District Hospital, entering into a memorandum agreement with Honorable Judge Flores Comungado, Municipal Mayor of Antique, for the implementation of the outpatient mental health referral and support service under the outpatient mental health field health benefit package. And the members of the Senate Panlalawigan who approve resolution 440/2026 are Honorables Berriong, Piccio, Alamis, Rubianosa, Rico Puerto, Casalam, Corvera, Luhipan, Panlalawigan, and the Vega. There are 10 votes, Madam Chair, in favor of approving resolution 440/2026 without objections. However, Honorables Lydia and Palacios are outside of the session. And there are 11 votes, Madam Chair, in favor of approving 440, resolution 440/2026 to include the Honorable Lydia. Only the Honorable Palacios is outside of the session hall.
With 11 affirmative votes, 0 abstention, and 0 negative, with 1 member outside the session hall, resolution number 440/2026, authorizing the governor to enter into a MOA with the aforementioned agency or local government unit is now approved. Thank you.
So, Madam Chair, may I go to
Please
number 5?
proceed to the next item.
This item number 5, Madam Chair. Item number 4. Maybe this needed first.
Okay, floor leader,
Correct. 4.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, Speaker De Rosa. We move on to item number 4, which is the letter dated April 29, 2026. And we would like to request the Honorable Fernando C. Corvera, the Chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, to present this on behalf of this organization.
Member Corvera, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Thank you, Coordinator. Item 4 in the urgent measure is a letter dated April 29, 2026 from Governor Paolo Eduardo Samir requesting authority to represent the province of Antique and to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Food Terminal Incorporated FTI for the implementation of the 20 pesos rice project of the national government. Madam Secretary, with me is the copy of the request and likewise the legal opinion from the provincial legal office, which states that the governor may be authorized through a resolution to enter into a memorandum agreement with the Food Terminal Incorporated for the purchase of 20 pesos rice. Attached is also the draft MOA and also our resolution for possible mutation. But we would like also Secretary to request that the outlet will not only be for San Jose, but also it will be distributed in the province of Antique, covering the central towns and also the northern towns. So instead of one outlet we are recommending that it should be 3 outlets. So, Madam Secretary, if you will allow me to read the resolution. This is resolution 350, series of 2026. A resolution authorizing the Honorable Paolo Ibrahim Sabir, Governor Province of Antique, to represent the provincial government in entering into a memorandum of agreement with the Food Terminal Incorporated with TI for the implementation of the 20 rice project of the national government. This is introduced by this presentation, co-sponsored by Member Picture, Dinamay, Panlalawigan, Paganosa, Alamis, and Lawigan. Allow me to read the witnesses before I. Whereas the national government, through the relevant entities and government-owned and controlled corporations, has initiated the 20 pesos rice project to ensure the availability of affordable and quality rice to the Filipino people, particularly benefiting low-income households. Whereas the provincial government of Antique recognizes the importance of supporting national programs aimed at achieving food security, price stability, and improve access to basic commodities for its constituents. Whereas the Food Terminal Incorporated, or FTI, as a government-owned and controlled corporation, is mandated to implement programs related to food logistics, distribution, and market accessibility, and has partnered with government units for the effective implementation of this 20 pesos rice project. Whereas the provincial legal office, in its legal opinion, cited that pursuant to Republic Act 7160, otherwise known as the Government Code of 1991, particularly section 25B, local government units are encouraged and authorized to actively participate as partners of the national government in the implementation of programs of coordination with national agencies and governmental government-owned and controlled corporations, and has concluded and recommended that the proposed memorandum of agreement between the province of Antique and FCI is consistent with state regulation. Now therefore, on motion by this presentation, and will be seconded be resolved, that is hereby resolved to authorize the Honorable Governor Paolo Ibrahim Sabir, Governor Province of Antique, to represent the provincial government of Antique in entering a memorandum of agreement with the Food Terminal Incorporated for the implementation of 20 pesos rice project of the national government. So further, that the provincial government shall ensure proper coordination, monitoring, and implementation of the provisions stipulated in the said MOA in accordance with existing laws, rules, and regulations. Resolved finally to that copies of this should be finished office of the governor, the Food Terminal Incorporated, and other concerned officers for information and appropriate action.
Thank you, Member Corvera. Member Corvera, is there another discussion, Member Picture? You are recognized.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Do we really believe, SP Cordera, that we have the 20 peso per kilo rice in the market? Well, is this dictated by market forces, or this is to fulfill a promise that has been done?
Well, I think it is more fulfilling the promise, because the promise has been there for so long, and no accomplishment has been. But I think this time, we discussed the matter during the presentation of the Department of Agriculture during the Economic Development meeting, and the Food Terminal Incorporated will be buying rice from National Food Authority. NFA will sell the rice to FTI, and in turn FTI will distribute that. We are trying to recommend from FTI that the outlet will not only be San Jose, but they will also be spreading it from the central town to the northern towns for further distribution. Yes, Member.
For clarification, this 20 rice is not available to all. It's only for selected sectors.
Yes.
Which is sectors which are under the marginalized. So that for information of everyone. And right now, it is existing, operationalized in NFA office in San Fernando, San Jose.
Yeah, and we are recommending that it should be expanded to, I think, siguro kamapat in Patomon, and also in Kulasi areas to serve further in the northern towns of the division.
Thank you very much, SP Cordero.
And we hope that the stocks of NFA will also be substantial enough for the purchase of FTI for distribution at 20 pesos.
Is there any more discussion?
So, Madam Chair, I think
If not, Member Rivera is moving to authorize the governor to enter into MOA with FTI for the implementation of the P20 rice project. Is there any second? Seconded by members Aluipan, Nikia, Rico Puerto, Alamis, Picho, and Casalao, and Panlalawigan. Is there any objection? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, please present the number of the resolution and the title for votation.
is this 350, Mr. Secretary?
441.
For Coconut 350.
Madam Chair, the Sannguniang is up to approve resolution 441/2026, a resolution authorizing Governor Paulo Alberto Sabir to represent the provincial government of Tokyo and enter into a memorandum of agreement with Food Terminal Incorporated on the implementation of a 20 peso rice project of the national government. And the members of the Panlalawigan who approved resolution 441/2026 are honorables Picho, Alamis, Nikia, Dedio, Olvera, Casalao, Aludipan, Recoberto, Tahanangit, Tobianosa, and the rest. Madam Chair, there are 11 votes in favor with no objections to approve resolution 441/2026. And the honorable Palacios didn't participate as he is outside of the session.
With 11 affirmative votes, 0 negative, and 0 abstention, with 1 member outside the session hall, resolution 441/2026 authorizing the governor to enter into MOA with FTI is now approved. Thank you. Thank you, Member Rivera.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, SP Cordero. We now proceed to item number 5, which is a letter dated April 30, 2026, from Governor Paulo Javier requesting for the amendment of an SP resolution. And at this juncture, may I request the Honorable Joyno Bernardo Tobianosa, the gentleman from Sibalon, to present this on behalf of this August body.
The Honorable Dr. Tobianosa is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, our Lord Leader. Madam Chair, this is item number 5 on urgent business, which is the letter dated April 30, 2026 from Governor Paulo Alberto Sabir requesting for amendment of the approved Sannguniang Panlalawigan resolution 303/2026 authorizing Governor Paulo Alberto Sabir to represent the province of Tokyo and Health Salazar Memorial General Hospital and the enter into a memorandum of agreement with Western Visayas Medical Center relative to his flow pathology training program. Madam Chair, on April 2026, the Sannguniang Panlalawigan approved resolution number 303/2026 authorizing Governor Paulo Alberto Sabir and OIC Chief of Hospital Dr. Salazar Memorial General Hospital to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Western Visayas Medical Center relative to the histopathology training program. The original memorandum of understanding has since undergone amendments in the care, and number one of which is the start of the training period has been revised to May 18, 2026, to June 12. The signatory of the first party has been changed to Dr. Lina Pestisano, the new chief of hospital of the San Hospital, and the signature of one of the signatories for the second party has been modified. Specifically, the chief training officer now designated as Guadalupe Matitka, MD, and the chairman of Department of Authority Laboratory Medicine, Janet Artilia, MD. Madam Chair, the amended draft memorandum of agreement among the Western Science Medical Center and the Sannguniang General Hospital in the province of Antique has the following changes. The start of the training period, the signatory of the first party has been changed to the authorized as a signature of one of the signatories of the second party. So Madam Chair, we discussed a change to the signatories for the effect memorandum of agreement on the training. So Madam Chair, I move that resolution to approve authorizing Dr. Paulo Eduardo Sannguniang to represent the province of Antique and the OCC to hospital from the Memorial General Hospital to amended memorandum of agreement with the Western Visayas Medical Center relative to the histopathology training program, reflecting changes in the training period, the signatory of the first party, and the designation of one of the signatories of the second party. So move that.
Member Fabianosa is moving for the approval of the resolution earlier read. Is there any discussion? Second to the motion, seconded by members Corvera, Alipan, Tanakit, Ricoberto, Piccio, and Virio, and Nikia. Mr. Secretary, please read the number and the title of the resolution for votation.
Madam Chair, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan is up to approve Resolution 442-2026. A resolution authorizing Governor Paulo Everardo Isabel to represent the province of Antique and the OIC Chief Hospital of Angel Salazar Memorial General Hospital to enter into an amended memorandum of agreement with Western Visayas Medical Center relative to the histopathology training program, reflecting changes in the training period, a signatory of the first party, and the designation of one of the signatories of the second party. And the members who approve Resolution 442-2026 are Honorables Piccio, Alamis, Perio, Nikia, Tubianosa, Ricoberto, Casalao, Corvera, Aluhipan, Tahanangit, and Gabeta. There are 11 votes, Madam Chair, in favor of approving Resolution 442-2026 with no objections. However, the Honorable Palacios did not participate as he is outside of the session.
With 11 affirmative votes, 0 abstention, and 0 negative votes, with 1 member recorded outside the session hall, Resolution 442-2026 is now approved. Pro Leader,
Thank you, Madam Chair.
thank you, Member Fabianosa.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, SP Tubianosa. The next item in the agenda is item D2, second reading. We have 3 items here. But before we proceed to these 3 items under second reading, because this will take little time, I would like to request to suspend the rules, Madam Chair, for the 3rd time, to accommodate a special dance number by the Honorable Julius Cesar Tagay.
Rules is suspended, the member Tanakit. Session is suspended, the member Tanakit, you have the floor.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. 30 years old. 33 years old. How about monkey? How about monkey? How? Because we are officers, mga board members na buhay-buhay, mga board member dyan, produce ulit ko ang ito.
Session resumed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you very much. We now proceed to item B2, second reading. We have 3 items here. The first, second reading is the proposed ordinance authored by the Honorable Fernando Corvera and co-authored by several board members, which is an ordinance promoting the display and prioritization and sale of locally produced agricultural and fishery products. So this chapter may request the Honorable Corvera, the chairperson of the Committee on Agriculture, to present this ordinance for second reading.
Member Corvera, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Madusi. This ordinance is up for second reading today. This is an ordinance promoting the display, privatization, and sale of locally produced agricultural and fishery products in public markets, supermarkets, and other commercial establishments in the province of Antique, providing incentives and support mechanisms for other purposes. This is authored by this representation, co-authored by Honorable Dodo Cesar Taranage, Honorable Soil Bernardo Velosa, Honorable Almela Rose de Mumay, and Honorable Vicky Lobeta. Whereas the province of Antique is an agricultural province where farming fisheries provide livelihood and income to a significant number of Antiqueños. Whereas local farmers and fisher folks encounter challenges in marketing the produce due to limited market access and strong competition from products sourced outside the province. Whereas promoting the display and sale of locally produced agricultural and fishery products in markets, supermarkets, and commercial establishments will improve market opportunities, ensure freshness and quality of food, strengthen food security, and support community-based economic growth. Whereas institutionalizing such support through a provincial ordinance will create sustained demand for local products and empower farmers, associations, cooperatives, and small producers. Whereas pursuant to Resolution number 8 series of 2026 of the Provincial Local Government Unit, PLGU, decided to enact an ordinance promoting the display and sale of local agricultural produce in market outlets and commercial establishments. The legal basis of this proposed ordinance are Republic Act 7160 Welfare Laws and Authority to Promote Economic Development. Republic Act 8435, which is the AFMA, Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act, and likewise Republic Act number 7900. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Antique in a session duly assembled. Section 1, title. This ordinance shall be known as the Antique Local Food Agricultural Products Promotion Ordinance. Section 2, Declaration of Policy. It is the policy of the province of Antique to strengthen the local economy by promoting the production, marketing, and consumption of locally produced agricultural and fishery products, and by supporting farmers, fisher folks, cooperatives, and small producers. Section 3, Objectives. This ordinance aims to first, increase market access for local producers. B, encourage the sale and consumption of local products. C, support livelihood and income generation. D, ensure availability of fresh and quality food. And E, strengthen food security and local economic growth. Section 4, Coverage. This ordinance shall apply to all public markets, supermarkets, grocery stores, agri-trade outlets, and similar establishments operating in the province of Antique. Section 5, Designated Display Areas. All covered establishments are hereby encouraged and where feasible required to first provide designated visible display areas for locally produced goods. B, prioritize shelf space for products sourced within the province of Antique. And C, coordinate with local farmers, fisher folk associations, and cooperatives. Section 6, Labeling and Branding. Locally produced goods shall be first clearly labeled as local product or Antique or similar marking. B, supported through branding and promotional campaigns of the provincial government. Section 7, Incentives and Recognition. The provincial government may grant incentives and recognition to compliant establishments, including A, certification or awards as supporter of local farmers. B, promotion through provincial programs like fairs and media. C, access to support programs subject to existing laws and regulations. Section 8, role of the provincial government. The provincial government through the office of the provincial agriculturist and concerned official. A, facilitate market linkages between producers and establishments. B, provide technical and marketing assistance. C, control information and promotional campaigns. D, monitor and evaluate implementation of this ordinance. Section 9, compliance and penalties. Establishment shall not fail to comply with the mandatory provisions after due notice may be subject to warning for the first offense. B, administrative fines for subsequent offenses. And C, possible action on business permit renewal subject to due process. Section 10, Appropriation. Funds necessary for the implementation of this ordinance shall be sourced from available provincial funds and included in the annual budget. Section 11, Implementing Rules and Regulations, IRR. The provincial government shall post the issuance of the implementing rules and regulations within 60 days from the approval of this ordinance. Section 12, see permanently closed. If any provision of this ordinance is declared invalid, the remaining provisions shall continue in full force and effect. Section 13, repealing clause. All ordinances, rules, regulations inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed or amended accordingly. Effectivity clause. This ordinance shall take effect within 15 days after the publication or posting in conspicuous places in the province of Iquique. Well, enacted this day of 2026 at the Sannguniang Session Hall, San Jose, Vista. Madam Presiding Chair, this statement is open for the period of debate.
Member Rivera is moving for the opening of the period of debate. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Salipan, Nikilang, and Pico Carito. Period of debate is now open. Is there any members who would like to present clarification pertaining to this proposed ordinance? Member Nikia, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. First, we congratulate the Honorable Rivera for this very novel advocacy in helping our local farmers in the province of Iquique. Madam Presiding Officer, I suggest, not just for this ordinance, but for the other succeeding ordinances under second reading, if the body is amenable, because we already have a very big screen there in front. So maybe it will not be too much to ask that the sponsoring or the author member of this office body create or prepare interactive PowerPoint presentation also, so that aside from all of us here in the plenary, our guests also, especially coming from the media, would also have a grasp of the ordinance that we are discussing under second reading. For us board members, it is okay because we already received the advance copy of the ordinance for our early perusal. But for also considering our guests, I think we have also our staffs to help us prepare the presentation for our second reading ordinances, so that it will help facilitate the discussion smoothly and will encourage also the participation of all the members.
Thank you, Attorney Nikia, for that very commendable suggestion. So for the next ordinances to be presented, we expect that not only copies but an interactive PowerPoint presentation be presented in the two screens available inside the session hall. So that's a good suggestion. So all members who will have a second reading in the next session, please kindly comply. Not mandatory, but requested.
Yes, Madam President, we would appreciate those who will have presentation. But with regards to the ordinance, with regard to the ordinance, Madam President Officer, I heard that Honorable Rivera read that there is a penalty clause to those who will violate the provisions of this ordinance. Maybe ask again the penalty clause provision of the ordinance, Madam President.
Member Corvell, please represent again Section 9, compliance and penalties.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you, Member Nikia, for your suggestion. But for the information of the members of this August body, sorry, I wasn't able to prepare my presentation in a PowerPoint. But I have here with me an extra copy of the ordinance. If you wish to read, especially members of the media, I have it with me. But to answer the question, what are the penalties as contained in Section 9, compliance and penalties, may I reiterate that establishment or establishments that fail to comply with the mandatory provisions after due notice will be subject to first offense warning, first offense. Second, administrative fines for subsequent offenses. And third, possible action on business permit renewal subject to due process. Those are just simple fines for non-compliance with the prescribed regulations of the ordinance. Simple, but yet it should be strictly followed and strictly monitored.
Member Nika?
You asked for the presiding officer, the second states administrative penalty.
Administrative fines, only administrative fines. So meaning administrative fines as if there are payments or possibly equivalent, if they cannot do this in a monetary manner. So administrative fines usually designed in the form of
In our case, administrative fines are suspension.
Yes, but Member Cordera, can you please expound, because if it is the understanding of everybody that this refers to supermarkets and other business establishments, so how can they be imposed an administrative fines? That is the question, Member Nika, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So please answer, Member Cordera.
Well, thank you very much, Representative Chair. For that, I think there should be a proper coordination with, since this ordinance will be applied to all supermarkets and markets in the province of Antique. So public markets are also being introduced by way of trying to let the market administrators know about the ordinance. And if ever there are portions of ordinance that are being violated, so there are sanctions on this confiscation of the item, and possibly report this to appropriate market administrators, or possible if pieces are being really done. There was already before, I would try this, that we confiscated the item and sent it to the provincial jail for possible consumption by our inmates. So that's one of the administrative points which we are giving number here.
Member Nika?
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer, because I've heard earlier, as honorable as a sponsor and the ordinance, I've heard the terms highly encouraged. And so if we are only encouraging and we are not mandating, then how can we impose penalties to the presiding officer?
Well, of course, we have to be subtle first, that we have to encourage them. And possibly, that is usually done in the first offense. But in the subsequent offenses, we'll be already putting some administrative sanctions.
Member Cordera, I think the member Lydia is clarifying that how can an ordinance that simply promote, the term is promote, is with penal sanctions. If you're just promoting, not mandating, how can we impose an administrative penalties?
Well, of course, it has been part of the penalties that establishment that fail to comply with mandatory provisions. So there are mandatory provisions that should be complied. And usually, we have to warn first, and second, apply administrative ones in subsequent offenses.
Are you satisfied with the explanation, Member Lydia?
One last point, Madam Presiding
Please proceed.
as communicated by Honorable Odin Rosa, because this is the ordinance that we have, and if ever this will be approved, I think there's no provision in the ordinance that I heard that it was read. If who or what offices will be assigned or will be tasked to draft the implementing rules and regulations.
Well, as I said, the implementer of this ordinance is the office of the provincial agriculturist. So as far as crops are concerned, it should be open, while for fisheries, it should be required to draft the internal rules and regulations.
Is the member Corvera amenable that we hold this for further refinement as in here, in section 8, only the role of the provincial government is not mentioning any BFAR or any OPA as earlier mentioned.
Oh, yeah, of course, I'm very amenable to that, so that we can go specific to who will be here in terms of trying to implement these provisions. Because this is very general, under Section 8, it is very general as far as the role of the provincial government. Who is the provincial government? But for people, it is a national government. It's not the provincial government.
We also request that this will be consulted, that all those offices be consulted prior to the next deliberation in the plenary so that they may be aware of these additional functions.
Yeah, and Section 8 will not only be the role of provincial government, but possibly we can also include there in one of the sections the role of other government agencies. Just as we part, because it is not, it's a national agency.
Member Likia,
And likewise, the Bureau of Animal Industry, in terms for possible meat and other poultry products.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer.
additional,
Yes, we suggest, Madam Presiding Officer, that there should be a specific offices, most especially synergy of national government offices, provincial government offices, and with coordination also with the municipal, local government unit offices.
I thank you very much. It's good because I said a while ago that implementation of this can also be coordinated with the market administrators of every municipality. Yeah, thank you very much for that.
So we connect again the, author, article.
thank you, Member Likia, for the very good points raised. Next is Member Goyong. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for this ordinance of Honorable Rivera. Just a query, is there a definition of terms for locally produced agricultural and fishery products? Do we have a list in the ordinance body of the products that will be prioritized and promoted?
Okay,
So, I think it's also.
it is not in the document, but they have in our mind, what are those locally produced products? And if you wish that it should be included in the,
What
a section,
Yes.
as one of the sections of this ordinance, for the definition of terms, so that they will be knowing, how do you know that it is a locally produced product?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that accommodation, Member Rivera, Madam Chair, because it would be very helpful for markets and supermarkets and other commercial establishments especially, to know the kind of products that have to be prioritized. In fact, if we can also further include as part of the definition of public markets per se, markets that are sanctioned by way of an ordinance of the municipal and local government unit. Because there are markets that are street markets not sanctioned. So, para hindi natin lamang magsalangalan ang ating existing LGU-run profit markets. The problem now in San Jose, for example, is there are markets or Lipa-based markets that are not supported by local ordinance. So, nagaling most of that. Is it possible, Member Rivera, that we define public markets to suit the definition or the establishment of these places based on legislation of the municipality?
Well, thank you very much. It's very possible because when it get, or we get insert in one of the sections of this ordinance, the coordination levels. If you wanted to coordinate with the municipal or even down to the barangay level, because if you notice, barangays are also allowed to come up their own barangay markets. So later on, if not today, later on they may come up with barangay market, just like what happened before to San Angel. They have their own barangay market, but it was not sustained. But like, come on, they have theirs. But it's not sustained. But however, we cannot limit these barangay officials to come up with their own barangay market later on. So as far as the section, one of the sections here in this ordinance, levels of coordination, municipal, barangay, and other possible, including private establishments, because now it is encouraged that associations make up their own tarifa.
Thank you,
But Madam Chair, just to follow through, it should be legislated market. It cannot just be any private market displaying publicly, so it will not compete with legislated markets. That's about it.
Or if it is not an expanded part of the IRR, it should be another section to be inserted in this ordinance.
Thank you, Madam Chair, thank you for the obligation.
thank you, Member Berrios. Is there any more members who would like to present any more suggestion so that the chairman of the committee and the author will refine the same? If not, Member Rivera, for your resolution.
Well, thank you very much. We hope that we'll be able to incorporate some of your suggestions in some sections of this ordinance, and including the suggestion that there should be the definition of terms, and likewise the internal rules and regulations in implementing this ordinance. So, Madam Chair, I hope that this ordinance be again calendared for possible second reading after our inclusion of those suggestions today. And I hope that this will be again calendared at the second reading of session.
Member Rivera is moving that this item be calendared again for continuation in the second reading with the refinements that all the suggestions will be incorporated. So is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Alipan, Rico Puerto, Nitya, Alamis, and Tixo. Is there any objection? And Cobianosa, is there any objection? Member Cobianosa, for your comment.
Madam Chair, just like comment that all are super to the honorable Cordera as internal rules and implementing rules.
Yeah. I think something like that, or implementing rules.
Thank you, duly noted. So again, is there any objection to the motion duly seconded? I hear none, so the motion is approved.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you.
Member Pitcho, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you very much, SP Contreras. And congratulations for that proposed ordinance. We now proceed to items number 2 and 3 for second reading. But however, due to climate change, the honorable sponsor was hit by
No, I am the sponsor.
the voice problem. So we would like to defer items number 2 and 3 until he will recover from this climate change problem.
The floor leader is moving to defer the next two items at the second reading. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Alipan and Rico Puerto. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Thank you. Member Pitcho.
We proceed to item D3, measures for third and final reading. We have none. Now, item B4, miscellaneous business, Madam Chair, we have 13 items here. Now, we will skip some items as I call them, but we will first proceed to item number 1, and then item number 11 and number 12. All of these are sponsored by the Honorable Gasipa de Puerto, the gentle lady from Siwan State. So at this juncture, may I request that she present these 3 miscellaneous business resolutions for the Perusan of this office.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Member Rico Puerto, you are recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer, thank you for the leader. Proposed resolution, it was later slowly. Small sorry to that. Resolution of gratitude and appreciation, sent to the United Norwegian Government Employees Association for its benevolent act of distributing 5 kilos of rice to active members, all department heads and assistant department heads, members of the Panlalawigan, the Vice Governor, and the Governor of the provincial government of Antique. Madam Presiding Officer, I move to approve the just resolution.
Member Roberto is moving for the approval of the said resolution. Is there any discussion? Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Pitcho, Alamis, and Aluipan, and Nikia. Is there any objection? And your none, motion is approved. Please proceed to next item, 11.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. The resolution charging the observance of the celebration of National Heritage Month, this month May, urging local government units to provide unresourced support, encouraging the active participation of traditional policies for culture and arts, and recognizing the vital role of indigenous people in the preservation and promotion of cultural heritage. Madam Presiding Officer, I move to approve the just read resolution.
Is that a second or a comment? Member Tumilasa, you are recognized for your comment.
As Chair, this time to that we have ordinances with regard to the celebration of Heritage Month. Actually, we have February 14 after Heritage Month, and also August, August celebration of historical heritage month as month, which is Sannguniang concert by the former so for me, let me do
Inconsistent with our approved ordinance. Member Ricoberta, you recognize for the comment raised by Member Tobianosa.
If there is a ordinance already, I can withdraw my resolution.
Thank you. Member Ricoberta is withdrawing the earlier motion. So with that, is there any second? Seconded Member Alitan. So motion is withdrawn. Please proceed to the next.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. A resolution encouraging
Number 12.
a resolution endorsing joint resolution number 1 series of 2026 of Barangay Aningalan, San Romeo, and Aningalan Integrated Farm School requesting financial assistance in the amount of 6 million pesos from the Office of the Senator Lord Rivera for the construction of a multi-purpose center at Aningalan Integrated School. Madam Presiding Officer, I move to approve the just read resolution.
Member Ricoberta is moving for the approval of the just read resolution. Is there any discussion? If there is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Aluipan, Pitcho, Alamis. Is there any objection? And hearing none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer.
Floor leader, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, SP Puerto. Congratulations. We now move on to the next item under miscellaneous business. Items 2, 3, 4 are all sponsored and introduced by the Honorable Alvin J. Lidia, the SP member from Subalom. So this juncture, I request that we recognize to present this for the person of this office.
Member Lidia, you are recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Board Chair, the first resolution is entitled the resolution strengthening support mechanisms and assistance programs for the families of overseas Filipino workers. In the province of Antique, through the establishment of a provincial government family support. If there are no other questions, Madam Presiding Officer, I move for the approval of the resolution.
Member Ika is moving for the approval of the resolution which was just presented. Is there any discussion? Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Aluipan, La Vega, Rico Puerto, Alamis. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved.
And secondly, to the presiding officer, as the chairperson of the committee on resolution, I am sponsoring a resolution institutionalizing environmental awareness and green practices in all schools in the province of Lagos. I move for the approval of the said resolution.
Member Nika is moving for the approval of the trustee resolution. Is there any discussion? If not, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Picture and Rico Puerto. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved.
And finally, to the presiding officer, I move for the approval of a resolution commending Honorable Giancarlo P. Oxenia, our municipal mayor in our hometown, municipality of Ceballos, for being conferred the award as outstanding mayor during the 29th ALSW POPI National Convention. In recognition of his exemplary leadership and unwavering commitment to inclusive local governance and social welfare development.
Member Ethan is moving for the approval of the resolution as embodied in item 4. Is there any discussion? Is there any second to the motion presented? Seconded by members Togianosa, Aluipan, Rico Puerto. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Thank you, Member Ethan. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. At this juncture, another proposed resolution under miscellaneous business, this time sponsored by the Honorable Joseph Eugene Aluipan, the distinguished SB member from Kulasi. At this juncture, I request that he be recognized to present this on behalf of his office.
Member Aluipan, you are recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam President. A proposed resolution, a resolution extending heartfelt congratulations and highest commendation to the city for its food products and its proprietor, Mr. Jenico R. Cabasa of Barangay Panlalawigan, for securing a spot in the top 4 of the National Young Farmers Challenges under the startup component processing category. Madam President, I move for the approval of this proposed resolution.
Member Aluipan is moving for the approval of the resolution just read. Is there any discussion? If none, a second to the motion.
Second.
Seconded by members Picture, Alamis, Nikia, Rico Puerto. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam
Please
President.
proceed.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. Next item under miscellaneous business are proposed resolutions sponsored by the Honorable Carmila Rose de Mamay. So these are items number 6, number 7, number 8, only 3. So at this juncture, the designated rapporteur is the Honorable Ricky Lavega, the ECL Provincial Federation President of the chapter. So I wish that he be recognized to present this on behalf of Carmina Rose de Mamay.
Member Lavega, you are recognized. Thank you.
This representation respect to submit proposed resolution proposed by Honorable Carmina Rose de Mamay, SP members, entitled Resolution Urgently Requesting the Department of Environment, Environmental Management Bureau, EMB, to the Sannguniang in aid of legislation, a comprehensive list and copies of all funded projects within the province issued the departmental life certificate and certificate of non-governance. And I move for its approval.
Member Lavega is moving for the approval of the resolution which was just presented. Is there any discussion? Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Picture, Togianosa, and Aluipan. Is there any objection? I hear none, motion is approved.
Another proposed resolution proposed by Honorable Carmina Rose de Mamay, members entitled A resolution requesting the provincial government to adhere to Honorable Paulo Emperado Xavier, Governor to publish quarterly budget utilization reports and assigning accountability to the Provincial Treasurer's Office, Provincial Accountant's Office, Provincial Planning and Development Office, and Provincial Information Office. And I so move for its approval.
Member Lavega is moving for the approval of the resolution which was just presented. Is there any discussion? If not, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by Member Alumipan. Is there any objection? And Tobiasa. Any objection? I hear none, motion is approved. And the next is item 8. Please proceed.
Another proposed resolution, again introduced by Carmila Rose Ilimamay, remember entitled Resolution requesting the Environmental Management Bureau to conduct an assessment and validation regarding claims of the indigenous peoples community via an article that their water source is equated to the proposed sanitary landfill site. Nice of the chair takes approval.
Member Lavega is moving for the approval of this proposed resolution as invited in item 8. Is there any discussion? Member Tobiasa, you are recognized for discussion.
Yes, question Madam Chair, if our resolution would include production of copies of the report to the Sangguniang for environment.
Okay. So with the additional provision that the report be furnished to the Sangguniang Panlalawigan.
Yes, to be part of the resolution.
One of the whereas, there's so five further parties.
Thank you.
The suggestion is still taken to.
So with the inclusion of the suggestion presented by Member Tobiasa, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by Members Piccio, Palacios, Alumipan, Alamis, Nitia. Is there any objection? Here that motion is approved. Thank you, Member Lavega. Floor leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. The next item is a report by virtue of the resolution sponsored by the Honorable Kennedy Green Reyes. Item number 10, to be presented by the Honorable Kenneth Day Casarao, the SK Provincial Federation President, Province of Antique. So please recognize SK Casarao to present this on behalf of Vice Governor Kennedy Green Reyes.
Member Castelao, you are recognized.
Thank you so much, Majority Leader. Thank you so much, Honorable Presiding Officer. It is allow me to present this resolution on behalf of our Vice Governor. It is a proposed resolution introduced by Honorable J.D. Reyes, Vice Governor, co-sponsored by Honorable Rico Puerto, Honorable Kipan, and Honorable Palacios, and his representation, Honorable Castelao. It is a resolution entitled Resolution urging the government service and I don't remember, sorry. Allow me to repeat the title of this resolution. It is a resolution entitled Resolution requesting Senator Lauren Legarda to support the allocation of funds amounting to 5 million pesos for the construction of a bahay pag-asa in the province of Antique to address the increasing number of children in conflict or CICL. If there are no clarifications from the board, Madam Presiding Officer, I therefore move the approval of the said resolution and I so move.
Is there any clarification? I hear none. Is there any second to the motion presented? Seconded by Members Piccio and Alumipan. Is there any objection? I hear none. Motion is approved. Thank you, Member Castelao.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you, SK Casarao. We move on to item number 13. This is a proposed resolution introduced by the Honorable Carmila Rose Ilimamay. But we will defer this for the meantime because of some corrective measures that will be applied in the future. So that ends our reports for the proposed resolutions. We now proceed to unassigned business. We have none in this agenda. However, there are some items to be presented And since they are not included, then I would like to move to suspend the rules to accommodate three unassigned businesses, Madam Chair.
Member Big Shaw, floor leader, is moving for the suspension of rules. Is there a second to the motion? Member Toby Rosa, you are recognized for your question. Yes, is there any second? Seconded by members Sannguniang and Palacios. Rules is suspended. Please proceed. First to present, I think, is member Palacios.
No. The first to present, Madam Chair, is the Honorable S.P. Alamis. He has two items to present. This is in relation to the Games and Amusement Committee report.
Member Alamis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Leader. Actually, this is a very simple committee. I just received this last week, or we still with halfway through, and we are trying to comply the recommendatories we get taken over for 1 month. So, the committee report should be remanded based on the findings and recommendation of the legal office.
Can you please present the number of the committee report and the subject?
Okay. Committee report number 169-2026, Games and Amusement. Subject ordinance number 2026-322, series of 2026 of Municipality of Colasi, Antique, entitled an ordinance amending section 3 of ordinance number 2017-124, an ordinance prescribing for the grant of an authority or license to operate a cockpit arena in the municipality of Colasi, Antique, and other regulations relative thereto. Refer to the Committee on Games and Amusement on April 20, 2026 during the 50th regular session of Sannguniang Panlalawigan. Findings and recommendation. The committee conducted thorough review and ordinance of the ordinance and thereafter referred to the Provincial Legal Office for legal opinion, a copy of which is held attached. Upon legal scrutiny, the office finds the municipal ordinance number 2026-322 is legally supported in principle, considering that the subject matter falls within regulatory authority of Sangguniang Bayan over cockpits. The grant of 5-year franchise or authority is not per se illegal, provided that the franchise remains subject to existing laws. The cockfighting law, zoning and safety requirements, local revenue rules, and continuing regulatory supervision. However, the submitted ordinance should comply for correction and compliance condition to avoid ambiguity and audit regulatory issue. To wit, number 1, correct the effectivity clause. Number 2, clarify renewal documents. Number 3, expressly prohibit sabong and authorized gambling. 4, require continuing compliance with national and local permits within the revocation clause, but at due process. Recommendation, it is respectfully recommend that Municipal Ordinance 2026-322 be considered valid in purpose and legal supportable, subject to the foregoing correction and compliance condition. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan with favorable note, the ordinance provided that the municipal City of Colasi incorporates or observe the above recommendation, especially on the effectivity terms of franchise, renewal requirements, prohibition against sabong, continuing permit compliance, and due process safeguard in suspension or revocation. Accordingly, the Committee on Games and Amusement hereby moves to adopt the report number 169/2026.
The conclusion is to remand or to review in order?
Adopt the committee report first, and then we throw the
Okay. Member Alamis is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 169-2026. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Lavega, Alumipan, Fiction. Member Lams.
Thank you. In furtherance, therefore, the committee likewise move to remand ordinance number 2026-322, series of 26 of municipality of Pulas.
Member Alamis, the chairperson of the Committee on Games and Amusement, is moving to remind Municipal Ordinance 2026-332 of the Municipality of Palasi. Is there any discussion? Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Aluipan, Cobianosa, and Picture. Is there any objection? Hearing that motion is approved. Thank you.
To continue, Madam Chair.
Please proceed.
Committee report number 170-2026, Committee on Games and Amusement. Ordinance number 2026-323, series of 2026 of the Municipality of Palasi Antique, entitled an ordinance granting franchise to operate two Aya Stadium Cockpit Arena in Barangay Kamansihan, Palasi Antique. Referred to the Committee on Games and Amusement on April 20, 2026 during the 5th regular session of Sannguniang, Panlalawigan. Findings recommendation. The committee conducted a thorough review of the ordinance and thereafter referred to the provincial level office for legal opinion, a copy of which is here to attach. Upon legal scrutiny, the office finds that municipal ordinance number 2026-323 is legally supportable as principle, considering that the subject matter falls within the regulatory authority of Sannguniang Bayan of Cockpits. The grant of 5-year franchise or authority is not purely illegal, provided that the franchise remains subject to existing laws, fighting laws, zoning, and safety requirements, local revenue rules, and continuing regulatory supervision. However, the submitted ordinance should comply for correction and compliance conditions to avoid ambiguity and audit regulatory issues. To it, number 1, correct the effectivity clause. Number 2, correct the term reference. Number 3, expressly prohibit isabong and authorized gambling. Require continuing compliance with national and local permits, local and certification language, retain the revocation clause at due process. Recommendation. It is respectfully recommended that municipal ordinance 2026-323 of the municipality of Palasi be considered valid in purpose and legalism for the whole subject for ongoing correction and compliance condition. And so we can be durable law that ordinance provides that the municipality of Palasi incorporates or observe the above recommendations, especially on the effectivity terms of franchise, renewal requirements, provision against isabong, continuing permit compliance, and due process safeguards its suspension or revocation. Accordingly, the Committee on Games and Amusement hereby moves to adopt Committee Report number 170-2026.
Member Alamis is moving for the adoption of Committee Report 170-2026. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by member Alumipan. For your final motion, member Alamis.
Thank you. The committee likewise move to remand ordinance number 2026-323, series of 2026 of the municipality of Palasi.
Member Alamis is moving to remand Municipal Ordinance number 2026-323 of the municipality of Palasi. Is there any discussion? Hearing that, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by member Alumipan. Is there any objection? And hearing that, motion is approved. Thank you, member Alamis. Floor leader, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Thank you very much, Honorable Noel Alamis. We proceed now to the next item under unassigned business, under suspended rules. And this is a resolution born out of the discussion earlier made by the Honorable Emmanuel Sweetie Palacios, the gentleman from Palasi, strongly denouncing the action of the Department of Public Works in awarding the unsolicited Boracay Bridge project
to San Miguel Holdings Corporation, despite the express opposition of the municipal government of Malay Aklan, the provincial government of Aklan, and multi-sectoral groups. So at this juncture, may I request the Honorable Attorney Sweetie Palacios to present this particular draft resolution for the information, carousel, and approval or whatever action the Sannguniang Panlalawigan would be necessary. So I wish to be very recognized, Madam Chair.
Member Palacios, you're recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you, Madam Vice Governor. This is the topic we talked about earlier. A resolution strongly supporting resolution number 593 of 2026 of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan of Aklan. Entitled resolution strongly denouncing the action of the Department of Public Works and Highways in awarding the unsolicited Boracay Bridge project to San Miguel Holdings Corporation, despite the express opposition of the municipal government of Malay Aklan, the provincial government of Aklan, and multi-sectoral groups. This is in accordance with the requests of the board members of Aklan for the board members of Antique to support their opposition to the Boracay Bridge project, because the same Boracay Bridge project is being inimical to the economic and social condition of the residents of Aklan, particularly those in Malay, and may pose significant risks to the environment and the unique beauty of Boracay Island, which is a major tourist destination in the country. If there are no comments or opposition, I move that this particular resolution be approved.
Madam Chair.
Member Picture is recognized for this clarification.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. When I commend the Honorable Palacios for coming up with this resolution, since he mentioned that there is strong opposition from the municipal government of Malay, do we have a resolution, a copy of the resolution of the local government unit of Malay, SP Palacios?
There is, but I have not secured the same, considering that this is in accordance with the simple request of the board members of Aklan for the board members of Antique to support this particular resolution number.
Okay.
Member Picture?
Okay, in addition to this, do we have a board resolution from the province of Aklan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Position?
It is here, we have already cleared in the process of photocopying copies for the perusal of the board members. It is some level of resolution on 593-826. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also you mentioned that there are various multi-sectoral groups opposing this particular move.
Yes, sir.
So what are these multi-sectoral groups opposing?
Particularly, sir, the sectoral group which is to be greatly affected are the banqueros, because the banqueros, they are approximately, I listened to the board members, and there are approximately 200 or more of the bancas who are operating in the ferry of passengers from the mainland of Cavite to the island of Boracay. And they will be the primary sectoral group which will be greatly affected, because if there is a bridge, there will be no need for the services of the banca anymore. So in addition to that, the tricycle drivers will also be greatly affected, because once the vehicles are allowed entry to Boracay through the Boracay Bridge, mawawalan din nahanap ko yung mga tricycle drivers kasi yung mga nakakaroon ko sila yung sasakyan. So they will be greatly affected. But I think the people who will be most greatly affected by this particular move of the construction of the Boracay Bridge project will be the citizens mismo po ng Boracay. Because if you have been to Boracay, ang titipid mo kasada, so how many influx of hundreds of vehicles would be arriving in Boracay if there's a bridge? 100, 200, 300, naku. Magkakaroon talagang Kaya traffic congestion sa akong
Number
Okay,
picture, please proceed.
what about emergency medical services? Like, for example, those who will be needing hospital care in the island of Boracay to be brought to the mainland. How are we going to transport them? And the ferry of medicines and food products to Boracay.
Nakaugalian nila po na tinatawag nila yung sea ambulance. We have several sea ambulances and I think hindi ko alam kung may helicopter na sila eh. Mukhang may helicopter na rin sila eh. For the grabe ng mga kaso. Pero I think the usual method of there are 2 or 3 hospitals in Boracay.
Yes.
And three, no? And then they can cater to the daily medical needs of the people who have accidents and whatever. In the event na hindi kaya ng hospital ng Boracay, pinapadala nila sa ibang lugar, and the common use of the vehicles used is the sea ambulance. So, nakaugalian nila yung ganyan na sistema.
And another thing, how many barangays in Boracay? 3, no?
3.
Balak-balak, manok-manok, and baboy-baboy.
I think there are 5. I'm not sure what's it.
No, 3. So probably, to justify our resolve to the request of a plan, we must be very comprehensive.
Yes, sir.
So we will attach all of this in our proposed resolution. So San Miguel Holdings Corporation will be aware that the province of Antique came up with a very comprehensive resolution in supporting the request of the provincial government of Aklan.
Yes, sir.
Member.
So these are the things we would like to input in our own resolution to strengthen our resolve in supporting. Otherwise, they will probably think that we are not so knowledgeable about the situation in Boracay. But because of this important input in our resolution, subject to style, probably it will be more commendable and it will strengthen the resolve of the province of Antique to support the request of the province of Aklan.
Yes, sir.
By the way, who is the governor of Aklan?
Governor Flores.
Yes,
Joe and Flores.
the son of
The son of
Congressman.
Are you now clarified, Member Bishop?
Yes, I just wanted to expand the brain child and wisdom of the Honorable Palacios.
I can feel your eagerness to co-sponsor the measure.
No. I would rather it will be sponsored and backed.
Okay, so with that, are you amenable, Member Palacios, that this will be subject to the Committee on Style? We approve this in principle.
Yes, Governor.
Clarification by Member Tobilosa. Member Tobilosa is recognized to be followed by Member Lavega.
Excited ka eh. Mag-sponsor ka na lang.
Too concerned about keeping out this big project, which is also affect environmental situations in the island. But this big project most probably is part already of the NEDA Economic Development Authority programs, which is national in scope. I don't know if we are aware. We need to be aware of the different directions with regard to the tourism plans, especially TIESA, because it is most probably the part of the budget of TIESA, and I don't know if we are entering some areas wherein there will be a lot of discussion. And hopefully, we can be clarified or be made aware of all the facets that have come in play with regards to the decision why this project has already been awarded.
Yes, Doctor. Sir, this resolution is simply a mere expression of sentiment. It is not intended to prevent NEDA, to prevent the national government from implementing those particular projects. It is just an opinion of sentiment, sir. Parang small pa lang vaccine. Kung hindi na request ng mga yung mga board members na tulungan natin sila, support lang yung resolution na to, which is a mere, again, expression of sentiment. And not intended to derail any government project. Opinion of sentiment lang.
Okay, so Madam Chair, we also want to require now the sentiments there specifically mentions of environmental effects. But as I have observed, they have not protected wildlife in Boracay due to the increase of economic activity. And that's all I have to say to the sentiment.
So, the sentiment of Member Tobianosa is now registered. Is there any suggestion or you support this resolution? Next is Member Lavega. You are recognized.
I just want to make it clear from the sponsor, what is the status of the project now?
It has already been awarded by the TPWH to the Sannguniang Corporation.
In other words, if it has already been awarded, it is due for implementation any time from now. And what do you think of this resolution?
Well, as I said,
does it has the effect? Are we optimistic that this resolution could affect the implementation of the project?
We hope that by assisting and supporting the move of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, that maybe, hopefully, it will have the effect of at least stopping and pausing the project until further consideration. But yun lang. Kaya nga sabi ko, this is a mere expression of sentiment and support to our fellow board members in Aklan. Yun lang, pure and simple.
Hindi kasi ito iniisip ko. If this resolution has no effect of stopping the project, it will just create animosity from among province of Antique, which is not the forefront of the implementation of the project, with that of the national government. Because the local government is tasked to align itself with the projects of the national government. Now, equating the burden, if you are going to compare the economic impact of the very few affected sectors there compared to the benefit that it could get from tourism industry, how are we going to?
I have found out while we were talking with the Aklan board members that the contract for the construction of the Boracay Bridge was conducted by the Department of Public Works and Highways and awarded to Sannguniang Corporation without any formal endorsement, without any formal application, without any formal consultation conducted. So in this particular aspect, I think we should leave it to the learned minds and ways and means of the board members of Aklan and the local government of Malay and the concerned sectoral groups to try to stop the problem using this particular breach of due process. So tayo lang, like I said again po, boss, we are just showing our support to the provincial government of Aklan and hope that they will dirty their hands in the process in order to we are not stating our here anyway. we're just simply giving our support of their particular position. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty details, para po sila doon.
Member Rebecca, yes, can you summarize your point?
My point, Madam Chair, if this resolution has no effect on implementation of the project, it could be that this is just an exercise in futility. So if it is an exercise in futility, why should we have to introduce this matter? If it will only create animosity from the province of Antique without the national government agencies.
Yun nga sabi ko, boss, they have legal costs. They have just costs naman for opposing this project. And as of now, I think they're successfully delaying the project kasi hanggang ngayon, hindi pa na umumpisa eh. Hindi pa na umumpisa. So, they are using this non-application, this non-consultation, and it's a violation of due process and in accordance with the violation of the local government autonomy and principles of governance as indicated here under the local government code. So, yun nga ang ito ko. I do not want to get into the details. If you want to support the board members of Bangla as they request, we can do it probably. Pero let's not expect too much na at the point na we have to himayin natin basta sa victim sa national government. We're just expressing our sentimental support for the Sannguniang Panlalawigan o Panlalawigan as they requested.
So, may we request the body now? What is the, Member Rebecca, are you done? If you are finished, we recognize, again, there are 3 members raising their hands. Tobianosa, Member Lydia, and Member Piccio. So, with that, are you yielding the floor, Member Tobianosa, to Member Piccio, Member Lydia? Member Lydia, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. To the sponsor, we appreciate your efforts in crafting this to consider also the request of our fellow members in the provincial board members of the Philippines Region 6, most especially those in the province of Aklan. However, as earlier pointed out, in their resolution that we have a copy, it says here that they are requesting the PPP Center of the Philippines to furnish their Sannguniang Panlalawigan with copies of pertinent documents. In sum, it seems that there are irregularities in the process of the award and in the grant of the project. However, of course, as lawyers, we know that there are legal remedies that the Sannguniang Panlalawigan of Aklan could take. May I ask our good board member, our very good regional chairman, the PNP, if he is aware of any legal actions that the SP of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan of Aklan has taken already?
Member Palacios, you have the floor.
Precisely nga, kasi ako yung tinong-check mo, ako hindi nyo na natulong eh. So, safe po kayo. I am aware that the lawyers, the lawyers of the Sannguniang Panlalawigan of Aklan are planning to ask for the necessary and relevant documents, which prove that there has been prior consultation, has been prior implementation, has been consultation and application with the particular government agency in accordance with the provisions of the local government code. So, doon ang legality nila. Like you said, there is a problem with the due process, and kasi apparently, Panero sir, basta biglang lumabas na lang yung kontrata ng litigation kung sabi nila without any prior consultation, kita mo narako na sila. Without any prior consultation, without any notification, basta biglang lumabas na lang eh. Which is why they're having doubts about this, the veracity and the legality of this particular project. Anyway, if their point is to assist and help the preserve the pristine condition of Boracay, then it's up to them naman to find legal remedies. And I think they have it, which is why up until now, despite the fact that the award is already given to some legal holdings, maybe development side. So I think they are quite successful in delaying the project until such time that they have come to the legal conclusion. Walang violation of due process.
Member Palacios, are you amenable because all the points raised by more honorable members are valid, and this was presented only today, so the members did not actually have time to conduct their own research. If we can present this again the next session.
Yes, Madam Presiding Officer. Our point exactly is not to withhold our help in the form of expressing our sentiments in the form of resolution. However, I think the more concrete and more legal way for the Sangguniang Panlalawigan of Land if they're really in opposition to this project is really to ask for or seek legal remedies, like for example, filing a case for issuance of a temporary stay order, therefore a bit of a preliminary injunction, or maybe a bit of assets, the nature of the
Hindi na natin yung problema yun.
We got Member Palacios. Okay, you have the floor.
Madam Presiding Chair, I see movie kasi for intense scrutiny ng mga konti. Simple lang naman yung hindi ng fellow board members namin na apply. Through me, tinatansa ng pwede ba, supportahin nyo lang through simple resolution ang opposition namin to the construction of the Boracay Bridge. Period, that's it. The obligation of filing the case, filing the temporary stay order, sa kanila yun, kung natin kakayan doon, ang hinihingi lang na nila sa akin, is to support lang. Yan lang naman eh. So, if you want, kung tayo nyo i-approve yan, okay lang, I will just report to the board members sa pagka na, may problema, medyo nihirapan sila mag-resolve. At saka problema nyo yan. Baka na ako mag-resolve kayo talaga, basta.
Let us not proceed that way, but rather because the resolution, however, is just a sentiment, but it is a collegial decision. So we need to respect everyone's opinion. So with that, I think I saw the hand again of Member Piccio earlier, and to be followed by Member Alwipan. See, okay, Member Piccio is yielding the floor to Member Alwipan. You have the floor. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. I've traveled a lot all over the world, and I've seen success through a bridge. Kung ako talaga magtutunog, so many lives will be saved kung ay tulay ang Boracay. So many businesses people over there have saved a lot sa transportation pala ng mga sibuyas, baboy, gas, and all these things. You know how many nights, how many times I did not spend a night in Boracay? Because I have to leave at certain hours and run to pero kung may tulay dyan kaya, you can leave at any time that day, any time of night. So, do we appear kung wala habang wala tulay ng ginagawa, that has been way back in 1981. Na bata kasi ibang kasi dami nga o ang sitwasyon. This is a high time that we need to organize and to upkeep the Boracay structuring of Boracay. Kung ginaprotektahan natin ang ating mga pagtutuloy dyan, kung inuruman ang ating nga dapat protektahan, such as business establishment, like what I said, gani, dali ang ating mga transport dyan, mga sibuyas, baboy, gas, and apple na yan. And you know how many times I have to move from one port to another because nga ba't lang balik, hindi pwede ka din dyan mag-take off sa main ano rin na port, dito natin sa may ano rin tawagan sa pinaka ng port itong side road here. So yeah, very inconvenience. Pero kung may tulay dyan na, in and out na kaya ang mga bisita rin. Anyway, I'm saying, I have spoken.
Thank you, Member Alwipan. So, Member Piccio, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Chair. Again, I would like to reiterate my serious observation that in the resolution that we are going to draft, we have to be very specific. Since they are requesting for our support, then we can extend the support. However, it has to be justified. Like, for example, requesting resolutions from the three barangays of Boracay, that they have this clear opposition, and a copy of the resolution of Malay, flood, and a copy of the resolution of Sannguniang, Panlalawigan, and the complaint of the multi-sectoral groups that will be affected by the construction freeze. And we will have to outweigh the advantages. So in coming up with that rates, we have to outweigh the advantages for us to prove that the resolution is powerful. So if we cannot outweigh the advantages and we cannot make a solution to the problems, then that resolution will be made. But according to SP Vega. But if we can outweigh the advantages of coming up with the rates, then probably they will listen to us. So I think that is what we need to do. We have to strengthen our resolve. And this is a very good gesture for the province of Antique to support a neighbor in need. No? But let us make a condition to that. The travelers going to Boracay who are Antiqueños must be free from paying environmental fees.
That we unanimously agree.
So that must be a barter, a trade. We will support. But the people from Antique going to Boracay should not be charged environmental fees. Because they are charging environmental fees for the
They charge terminal fee, environmental fee.
But environmental fee, dapat they must remove that if we are Antiqueños. So you just show your ID as an Antiqueño, and that is a privilege that will be given by the local government of class. So this is our chance now to barter with them. And in case there will be a bridge to connect Ulasi and Manalison, let us also request them to oppose it, because SP Alulipag will be the only one who will benefit from that bridge. So I think that should be the consideration that you will ask the province of Aklan. Just to say, joking aside, we need to strengthen our resolution. Because if our resolution is weak, kaya na ang supportan natin. No?
Susuportahan namin yung resolution nyo, pero
Member Piccio, I think in consideration to all the observations of the members who actually manifested, Member Palacios is actually considering those, and he will be presenting a motion. Member Palacios, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
yes, in order not to waste any more of this session's time, and in order for each and every board member to be able to peruse the ins and outs and the nitty-gritty of the particular details in this particular resolution, I ask that this particular resolution be referred to the proper committee, Committee on Laws and Ordinances. I think that Madam President Chair.
Member Hikia, the Committee on Laws and Ordinances is mentioned that this item be referred to the same, together with the Committee on Infrastructure and Public Works. Are the two gentlemen chairpersons of the committee amenable? Member Hikia, you have the floor.
Madam Presiding Officer, I think it would be better if this be referred to the Committee on Tourism.
Also, I
Okay, so, a tripartite committee, or is it a committee on tourism?
Committee on Tourism and the Infrastructure, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, So, Member Palacios, are you amenable that this item be referred to the aforementioned committees?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the chairperson of the Committee on Tourism is willing to spearhead this endeavor? So with that commitment from Member Lovega, Member Palacios is moving to refer the same. Is there any second to the motion? Seconded by Member Pisco and Kalipan. The item is referred to the Joint Committee on Tourism and Public Works. So, is there any objection? If you're not, motion is approved. Thank you, Member Palacios, for the lengthy discussion. Floor leader, I hope that we will proceed to the next item.
Thank you, ma'am. I love you all again.
Before the floor leader, we recognize Member Tobianosa for his additional comment. We need to hear everyone, so.
Madam Chair, thank you. I think quite important item here is the mentioning of PPP projects information. That we need to have more on that because it seems it's a big question coming from the projects of land. And of course, the hope for us being neighbors and brothers to support whatever endeavor they have for their development and for their vision of their projects. Thank you.
So, chairpersons of the aforementioned committee, please take note of the comment of Member Tobianosa. So, floor leader, please proceed to the awaited portion of this agenda. There is still one unassigned business.
Yes, Madam Chair, the committee report of the Honorable Vicky Rebecca and Faculty.
Member Rebecca, you're recognized to render your committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As the chairman of the Committee on Oversight and Development the Committee on Justice and Human Rights Chair, Honorable Sweetie Palacios, we respectfully submit committee report number 204/2026. The subject of which is a resolution respectfully requesting the Joint Committee on Oversight and Committee on Justice to conduct an investigation in legal legislation on the reported case of prisoner of the Rehabilitation Center. Members of the Joint Committee on Oversight and Committee on Justice and Human Rights, 2026. During the 18th regular session of the Sannguniang. Findings of observation. After careful review and the deliberation of proposed resolution, the Joint Committee determined all detention of the Bureau of Jail Management and Technology Officer, PG3 Tomer, and Kusani, officer in charge, to explain the reported state of prisoner of the Rehabilitation Center, which next plenary session on May 18, 2026. At the session for the legislative techniques and session of this session. And I move for the adoption of this committee report.
Member Lovega is moving for adoption of Committee Report 204/2026 and further moves that the Antique Rehabilitation personnel representative be requested to appear in the Sannguniang Panlalawigan in the next regular session. Is there any discussion? If none, is there any second to the motion? Seconded by members Ayuhipan, Picture. Is there any objection? And your motion is approved. Thank you, Member Rebecca. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. There being no more unassigned business to be discussed, I move that the suspended rules be lifted.
Rules restored.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Chair. We move on to the next item in the agenda, item number 13. So at this juncture, as floor leader, I move that the session be adjourned until our next session on May 18, Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Session is now adjourned. See you next week.
session. Yes.